And here we are again.
Yeah, we were muted in a while, as always, because otherwise you would be recorded by the Streamliner. But I heard what you said, and yes, the 2xp is real.
The 2xp is real, yeah.
Is that just dots we add to anything, or?
The very bottom of your character sheet. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'll figure it out some other time. I'll put it in there.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy much with 2 XP.
Yeah, but like I've never played it before. I don't have the source book, so yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, we can cover the technical stuff some other time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I definitely need to put this one in. No more Monster Hunter.
No.
Yeah, we played Monster Hunter yesterday, actually. It was pretty fun, not gonna lie.
Nice.
I mean, it's, you know what, I keep saying that I wouldn't say, Wild Stop being the, weakest Monster Hunter game. But, now that we are, and, it's like the later part, and, you can actually play, Arch-Tempered Radar, which is more like what Radar should have been. It really stacked more stuff on top where I'm like, how the fuck did you miss that? It is like, they have like the most obvious, just, in German we say Steilvorlage, actually, just like, it is such an obvious thing to do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And they just kind of didn't do that. Okay, so inviting everyone, but if that's okay, I will also head to the toilet for just 1 second. And then we can talk a bit about Wiki 3, because holy shit, they just dropped an amazing announcement. And also, apparently, since literally the 2 Paradox games we are interested in and we like just keep being good, Age of Wonders 4 also just uploaded a small video about, it's 2 years, here's some stats. And also a teaser for the future, which was a small snippet from a stream they did with a designer. And they said, basically, if we're going to do a year 3, so like they're gonna do a year 3, one of the features that Age of Wonders 4 will have is vampires. So that's gonna be exciting, actually. We can talk about that a little bit later, but yeah. Excuse me for a second, then we shall talk about Wiki 3.
I'll be back in a minute, too.
Well.
Oh yeah, what BR are we doing?
I presume, still at 3.7.
Okay, yeah. Be right back.
Sure.
Apparently he's shooting a bunch of like videos and stuff, and trying to show how preppy the school looks. Preppy, that was the word that was used. All right, I'm back.
Back to.
Oh, great. Now we have to wait for Nya. But yeah, Age of Wonders 4. Nice game.
Oh, was that the game you were thinking of, Age of Wonders?
No, it wasn't.
Still don't know. Can't remember.
Yeah, no, I was scouring my because I had thought it up when I was at work.
Work forwards. Self shadows.
And I looked through, like, I'm looking through my Steam library because I'm pretty sure I have the game that I was thinking of. Oh, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah, I've got that game.
We don't.
Oh.
We thought about getting it in the long run, but haven't got around to it yet.
I mean, it's everything I've seen that they've done to update the game has just looked
Yes.
great.
Have you been playing it at all? Or?
I honestly, I haven't touched it since 2018, but I have been like loosely following the game.
Yeah, they made
And
It's good.
Great
It's
progress.
Good. It's very enjoyable.
yeah, it looks like they've got a lot of good stuff that you can kind of just do, passively or actively. Like they've got a good mix of it from the looks of things, and it looks like, and I think the multiplayer is decent.
At least you can go around in the world together, as far as I understand
Yes.
it.
Yeah, because there's online co-op that you can do, and cross-platform multiplayer too. But yeah, I just think that like kind of exploring places while doing the podcast type conversation stuff would work.
True.
That's just kind of like my thought on it all.
Yeah, and good news. I tried to translate that one. The Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution in Germany has now declared the AfD is definitely right wing.
Good.
How long did it take them to figure that out?
Well, they were like, how's it called? Investigating them, and now it's like safe to say that they're right wing.
Okay.
Basically,
Very
now
German.
that there's enough evidence to call them more right wing than you everyone already know they're right wing, but they fulfill certain standards to be right wing for the federal office, basically.
I honestly, I think that's a really good thing, because when it comes to making accusations at that level, you gotta be, like, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious, but, like, legally obvious is a
Yeah.
different thing.
Yeah.
Obvious and having evidence is very different.
Yeah. And several politicians were against banning the AfD until it is basically proven that they're right wing, and now it is proven.
Yeah.
So now it's way more likely to actually get some movement to actually ban them.
I think it's a fair stance to have for
Yeah.
those politicians.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can probably tell if one of them is like a slime ball that is a supporter of what they are. But I think generally the stance to be taken is, hey, we don't just ban a party because they've got bad vibes.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have and present evidence and go through the processes set in the system in order to do that kind of stuff. And I mean, this is also partly me being like super anal about this kind of thing, because it's not happening over here.
Yeah, especially since you need to accuse the whole party as a group and not just individuals. Otherwise, it would be very easy. Like, people in their party commenting about defending the borders with guns and just shooting people and shit. So,
I mean, over here we've basically got a government. We've got parts of our government that are just ignoring the entire Constitution and just throwing people out without even caring about anything, like our most important things.
What's the presidential branch thing again? It's the
There's the executive and
executive.
the
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest problem right now is the lack of due process for everybody, including U.S. citizens.
yeah, there will.
Which everybody in the U.S. is required to have. Everyone on our territory and subject to our laws is required to have due process, and yet
It was literally part of the Declaration of Independence. It was one of the reasons to get away from Britain. For God's sake! 1776!
so due process is actually part of the Bill of Rights. So it's our amendments, not the initial.
Is it? Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Only part of the reasons why, not one of. It was like
That said, you were on a similar track in that part of
Okay.
you were on a somewhat correct track, but with a different subject, and that the Declaration of Independence was partially about tariffs.
Oh
and
yeah, that
saying
as well.
no
Yeah.
tariffs.
Taxation
yeah.
got representation, which Seth as a DC native would know about.
Yeah. Well, that
Actually,
that
oh, yeah,
line
what-
specifically, I don't think was about taxation without representation. I think that line was specifically about sorry, not the tariffs. I forget. My mind's a little muddy.
Sorry to interrupt, but like,
Yeah.
how would you characterize your accent, Seth?
My accent?
Yeah. Like, is it
Um,
region specific within the US? Would you classify it as, or?
Oh, so within there's not really a name for my accent.
It's just sort of like East
It's
Coast,
kind of-
sort of.
It's kind of an East Coast accent, but the problem is that the East Coast accent is mostly like we're kind of like a more it's more of like a northern
Northeastern,
Oh.
sort of.
well, so
No.
this is the problem. Culturally, DC is on like that border with where the South starts to become the North. We are still the South, but again, it's just I go like 30 or 40 miles north, and I'm in what is culturally the North. It changes that quickly.
you're part of the Dixie strategic region in Victoria.
Yes, and that is a very accurate thing. But the thing is, culturally, my region is we're Dixie, but so using Victoria terms, we're Dixie, but the people of the South do not consider us Northerners.
I meant more in terms of accent-wise, specifically,
But
which
yeah,
I guess with region sort of also applies.
It's more so it's a geographical thing.
Ruben?
It's more like the Maryland sort of Virginia
Ruben?
sort of accent area. Yeah.
Would you
sorry,
please
Liam.
ready up.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd say it's even more different than that because within Maryland we have some accents that are quite strong, especially the Baltimore accent. Baltimore to me, or to like the people in the region, the Baltimore accent is kind of like the Cajun of the North, I'd say.
So it's unique to that very specific area.
Yeah, it's very unique to that specific area, and it's quite pronounced.
Sorry for being away a bit, but how the hell did we end up talking about accents?
Spontaneous Ruben thing.
No,
Yes.
I do. I've got a couple of reasons for just wondering.
Yeah. A thing, though,
yeah.
I want to say. The new Wiki 3 Death Diary. The treaties look amazing. Like,
Yes.
it just sounds it's like such a good addition. I get why they don't, I get, the whole, multilateral stuff not doable right now, but still.
In the future.
Maybe. I still like the fact that they're saying you can make treaties now and oh hey, I give you this, you give me that. So basically what it is, it's it's actually way more normal, how's it called? Diplomacy screen in terms of games. But the idea is more that, certain things like, for example, trade states or trade states, if want to get certain certain items in certain amounts traded, or money put
Yeah,
brought
for
over.
example, Portugal could sell the Gujarat state in exchange for an alliance.
For example, and also alliances are a thing, and that's pretty cool actually. I like that
So
alliances go through
my-
that now.
Yeah. My stance on the multilateral alliance thing, though, is I'm not that bothered by its absence because you can kind of simulate its existence through just networks of, I see it,
Zep?
Leon. Through networks of,
Fug.
Hello.
like,
Hello.
decrees, and you can go further on that system in the future when you implement a Great War system.
Yeah, it's like I think they definitely should do something like. But I absolutely love that you can hey, for example, commit to getting a law passed, or hey, maybe we trade some stuff. It's just such a huge improvement because the new world market and all that, good. The invasions by land, good. But the treaties, really good. That's the biggest thing. But also, I think we should try one thing when it comes out. Force,
What?
because you can force treaties onto others. And with wars. And one of the things on treaties they have is committing to a law. We should make it so that we force onto all the big powers that we beat that they commit to enacting no industry.
Industry banned.
Industry ban. I know how that I like how you react to that idea. I think that's a good idea for
Wait,
the
which
first
country
thing.
would be playing as or alliance?
We have to see.
UK?
No, the
This would be
idea is
so
that the
unpowerful.
idea is that we force the UK to only raise sheep. In France,
It's not even just that. It's essentially we are turning the entirety of the world's countries into just resource mines.
Agrarian.
Yeah, and I
It's
mean,
not even just agrarian. Even just using
Ministry band is just agrarian stuff.
Yeah.
Resources and agrarian is so good because then they'll have to buy the goods from the market, which would come from mainly us.
Yes.
Which would give us more manufacturing power. That is such a wonderful idea.
Oh, I like that even.
Especially because we could, I guess, in the late game or like at different points in the game, compare our manufacturing status.
Yeah, I mean,
to see who's benefiting the most.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, this is not like they have to put it through. I don't know if there is an option for that, but I think even committing to that would just it would do so many revolutions in France.
Can you set those terms as like a war goal or something?
Yes, you can enforce them as a war goal.
Yeah. So essentially, the diplomacy treaty screen. If they, I think the way they described it sounded like if you propose something and you say maybe there's an ultimatum option and they refuse, then it evolves into a diplomatic play where you can apply those
you can
things.
also just,
or they may have it be that you can just tack them onto
you can
any diplomatic play.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am so down, and I'm happy that we wait with stuff until it, because the more they reveal about the 1.9, the more I'm I want to experience the game then. It sounds really good.
Yeah,
but also Hello Beyond.
With those last two dev diaries, I'm just I'm struggling to play the game.
Sorry that we're talking about the game you're not that interested in, I think. How are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing alright. Doing fine. I've decided that I'm gonna live skeet this. That's what we're calling them now, by the way. I'm gonna die on this hill.
Ooh.
I'm gonna live skeet this this Sprite Limonade. I didn't know this was a thing that they made, and I'm just gonna make an experience out of this. So I'm just trying to clean up my desk a little bit so I can take a nice picture of this Sprite Limonade. And gonna just take you guys through this experience with me.
I mean,
Limonade or limeade?
Limonade. It's probably with lime, but also it's probably banned near you because of our food laws.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Sprite like lemon and lime, you mean?
Yeah. Hold on. To be really specific, it's spelled Lymonade.
Most Sprite, at least most Sprite is lemon and lime, though.
I just want to be clear. I'm not sure what the Y is there for, because
lime.
Either lemon or lime. Well, no. Well,
Lyme disease.
Lyme disease.
But lime is spelled with an I, so why it's a Y is confusing.
Well, Lyme disease is spelled with a Y.
But why would we be putting Lyme disease in Sprite Limonade? Why would we not?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Why would you not?
Beyond. Does the FDA care anymore?
Does it exist?
Yes.
Did you see their new what's it? Vaccine policy.
Oh. Do we want to be very depressed right now?
No, let's just leave it, because
let's just enjoy this Sprite Lemonade, and we'll talk about it later. Also, I gotta talk about that mile fucking wide tornado I saw this week.
Oh yeah, cool. Right. And if you want, I can give you a rundown, because we just played some Hunter the Reckoning before that, and we just paused.
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh yeah, they burned down a Nazi lab.
Oh fuck yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, basically
that's one from his suffering.
Yeah, it basically they found a Nazi lab in the Bavarian mountains that tried to fuse animal spirits, cows specifically, with humans to create soldiers that can just eat plants. Absolute bullshit, but mad science, Nazi shit. And it was just bad, and then it created girls because they just had a grudge, so they burned it down.
Like actual Nazis? Context.
It was a Nazi lab, yeah, from World War II. I mean, it's in Bavaria, That is, in story-wise.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is like an actual, it's a local affair.
Yes, it's set in Germany, so, I kind of wanted to make something in Europe, because, basically everything in the current rulebook is just like, either America or Philippines, interestingly, which, America, Mexico, Philippines, I'm generally down with that, but like, if I think of supernatural shit, I'm always thinking about the fact that Europe is so full of weird shit. I just want to, tap into that more.
Europe is honestly kind of like a better setting for like a hunter campaign, just because like, there's a lot more, preserved lore out there. I'm sure there's a lot of great lore in North America. It's just,
it's probably not bad, yeah, but also like, there's also another thing that I like about it, and it's the fact that it's harder to get to firearms. Like, getting firearms in Europe is not that easy.
What do you add? I don't. So Hunter Reckoning. So that's the old system. That's not the.
That's the new one. They have
5th edition.
That's right. Oh, that's right. 5th edition. They're doing that weird fucky stuff. I don't know if like I'm.
It's
big
pretty
fan
similar.
Of Chronicles of Darkness.
I know.
So is resources still using the resources still a thing where like you must have this many resources, you can obtain this much stuff per month if you have this many resources, or is it using a currency system?
It's resources, but more like very abstract.
Oh, cool! I love it.
Yeah, it seems simple. It seems similar to Vigil, but like, you're even more of a regular schmuck actually.
Oh, cool! I like that.
It's not. It doesn't seem that bad.
The most supernatural thing we have is a hammer and a staff we're selling.
I mean, the staff, like, basically, an agent from the original owner came knocking. We're like, okay.
Such a good. We're selling. It's just so matter of factly.
I mean, it's a thing. I need to check what I should research now. Technically, that little fucker here. Okay, yeah, I'm researching it.
Okay, we're gonna start. Hold on. We're gonna start with nutrition facts. The first thing that jumps out at me about limeade is it says 1% juice. So at least it has juice.
Oh, just 1%, but it's juice.
Still technically juice. All right. Serving size, 1 bottle. Calories, 220. And it's about what you'd expect. Sodium, 110 milligrams. Okay, that's a lot. It's a very salty drink.
Wow.
Total carbs.
But why is there so much salt?
That's just how these drinks. That's any look at any soda. Yeah, look at it. Electrolytes. Yeah, look at any drink like this. And in any carbonated, fizzy, sugary drink has got just a shitload of salt in it for some reason. Okay.
Interestingly, do we have it here?
Nope.
Let me just
There's
check.
0 here.
Yeah, 0 salt. I mean, that's like, wait, there's water, sugar, obviously, carbon. Nope,
Carbonated.
0 grams salt, 0 grams of protein. Yeah, 0 grams of salt. So there's no salt in Fritz Cola.
At least it has juice.
There's no caffeine in it, though. That's that.
Okay, so initial impressions. I like the label. I am posting this on Blue Sky if you want a visual here.
Yeah.
I like the
You're
simplicity
skeeting.
of the packaging on this. Yeah, I'm skeeting it. I like the packaging on this. Honestly, very very classic, very simple. Nothing over the top. It's just it's exactly what you'd expect. All right. We're gonna crack it open. We're gonna see if it's got how the fizz is. Also, I'm living in Colorado Springs now. That's an experience. Everything here is made of.
Did that one building work out? Did that one room that you wanted to rent work out that you told me about?
Oh yeah, with my I'm living with my friend Mason here. At least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll talk more about that. Here. Hold on.
Wait, so did you go to Colorado? Or am I mixing up where Colorado Springs is?
I've
misleading
always.
name?
Yes, I've always lived in Colorado. No, it's not like Kansas City, which is in Missouri.
Of
Sweet.
course.
All right. Well, it's got fizz. All right. I'll give you a taste impression. It's just Sprite. It's not. There's nothing special about it. It's just Sprite.
I mean, Sprite is lemon and lime.
It
I
doesn't
mean,
taste like Lyme disease.
I'm
It
generally a
doesn't
bit.
taste like lime disease, as far as I can tell.
I'm
It's
a-
really disappointing.
Yeah, that's like
What is the flavour of Lyme disease?
apparently
Limey.
Sprite. That's actually pretty disappointing to hear. Like, I always like when something is there and you taste and you're like, oh, well, that's nice. But sometimes it's just...
Pick flavor.
It just doesn't surprise with the flavors. Like, I mean, okay, so by the way, a while ago I saw like current Ali, selling Doritos salami pizza flavor. I was like, salami pizza? And I ate them and they were like, they're fine.
It's like pepperoni.
It's
I had a couple months ago. Like I saw some like special flavors of Pringles, like I think limited time or special edition, something like that. And I tried a bunch of them, and most of them were like one of them was, I think one of them was pepperoni pizza, was vegetarian.
Oh
I
yeah,
believe.
it's
But yeah, it was just like okay, this definitely tastes like something, but I'm not gonna buy this again. It's not.
yeah, it's
It's not
like
terrible, but just. Yeah.
Have you always been vegetarian? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean-
yeah, maybe you're just not used to pepperoni flavor, then, sort of.
I mean,
Yeah.
pepperoni flavor is
Yeah.
also just, I mean, at least here in Europe, like, okay, in Germany, the main flavor we sell is paprika. And, like, by the way, it's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
how's it
The
called?
flavor
How
here.
is he called again? Mr. X. So,
It's
okay, Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart. He actually made a video reviewing them, and he was like, "Yo, those are the best chips I've ever ate." They're generally good. Like, I mean, the sad part is for me, they're more like baseline stuff, but I generally like paprika chips. They're really good. The thing is just, one thing like the last real chip sensation I had, quote unquote, was the fact when I basically went, I'm kind of a, how's it called, sour cream and onion person. And some
Yeah.
offered tzatziki. That shit was good. Oh, you should take your pills. I'm getting them, by the way.
Give me my antibiotics.
Yes, and some water.
Do they not have AliExpress in China?
I think they've got a same company but different name. I think
was
it's
trying to
named
recommend-
differently in China.
Yeah, I was trying to recommend a Chinese product to a person in China. I was like, surely you must have a way of buying this there. Like,
I mean, technically they could use a VPN and then order it for delivery in China. I guess.
yeah, that's
maybe.
what but I was like, I was like, hold on, surely you must have a, surely you must have some way of buying this locally. Because it's like,
Yeah, AliExpress is available in China, but I think it's just under a different name, so they should be able to.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so no, all right, I'll explain. All of this will be explained. And I can use this to also plug the video. Also, I'm gonna plug the video because nobody's watching it. You guys should help me.
What are we talking about right now?
Ouch. I was gonna tell you guys about the Sprite disappointing. I'm sorry, I'm moving this conversation along. Sprite very disappointing. It just tastes like Sprite. I don't know what to say. I was hoping for more of like. Well, I was hoping this tasted like what happens if you mix Sprite and lemonade, because that's actually a pretty good experience, like very good like drinking experience. You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty great. This is not that. This is just
Sad.
Sprite. It's just Sprite. It's not bad. It's just Sprite. And I mean,
It's
Sprite's
sad.
fine.
It's disappointing
sad.
because you were expecting more.
Yeah. It's like...
It's disappointing because I wanted more from it, and honestly, yeah, but it's fine. Like, it's very drinkable. It's just Sprite. Sprite is exactly it's 7
meh.
Up, but slightly
meh.
worse.
It's Sprite.
fine.
I mean, honestly,
yeah,
I haven't
this
had
weekend-
Sprite in years, but yeah.
Schweppes is so much better.
I have Sprite right here on my desk. I've been drinking it. I like it, but yeah, I can get why it's not like, it's not mind blowing. It's good.
It's fine. It's what you drink when you're sick, apparently.
Mm.
Never understood why you're supposed to do that.
It's... I mean, here it was cola, but like, also it's just... It's
I think
just
that-
kind of a myth.
Yeah, I think that's something that the company's made up.
Yeah. If you want to actually drink something good, drink tea. Like herbal teas. Just...
Yes. Yes, I did
Or
that.
just
But,
do hot
that's
water
what
and
they-
honey.
Yeah. Also doable. Yeah, also fine.
Also gargle a bit of salt water.
And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
pretty wild
honey
experience.
water is for sore throat, the gargle thing can be for some type of bacteria.
Yeah, it's pretty alright.
If you have good honey, you probably more want to drink that like non-heated.
Okay, yep. Okay, but yeah, so what did you want to tell us with AliExpress in China?
Oh. Right. So the thing that I'm doing, I don't know if everybody knows this. I back in like January, I did the funny thing, did the meme thing, right, and joined Red Note, the Chinese social media platform, when they were like banning TikTok here in the U.S. And then I ended up actually getting like a pretty big following out there, being like way bigger than my following on TikTok ever was. And so I just post all my storm chasing stuff there, because it turns out storm chasing is pretty novel in China. Like, it's not as big there. It was pretty novel. So I ended up getting like a pretty big following out there. And so like months ago, Chinese smartphone company Vivo, they don't really sell them here because there's an import ban on those phones here in the U.S. Reached out to me. It was like, hey, we noticed that you were networking with some Chinese storm chasers. We're launching a new phone this year, and we want you to participate in our marketing campaign that we're doing. And so the marketing campaign is the thing that Vivo is like really known for, is they have like really high-end professional grade optics on their, well, air quotes, professional grade optics on their
Did you take the
on their
pill?
phones. And so what they did was they're like, hey, so they wanted to pick like, photographers who had like a story, right, for their marketing campaign. So like the story that we had was that like they saw me interacting with Chinese storm chasers, and they're like, the story that we want to have for you guys is like, the collaboration between American and Chinese storm chasers. And I'm down for that, it's fine. I thought that was cool because like, I've been having fun talking with Chinese storm chasers. So what they're doing is they're having so the marketing campaign, the way that this works is they're paying a couple teams of photographers around the world to go take photos with their phones, and then submit a bunch of photos, and then by the end of June. And then this campaign, I think it's going to run in like July and August. It's around later in the year. And it's they're going to have judges and then public participation to vote on the photos that were taken with their phones that they think are going to be, basically people are going to vote on who they thought like had the like best photos, and then like whoever wins gets a prize, which is pretty cool. So I'm getting paid to do storm chasing, like I'm getting paid to take pictures of tornadoes with all these crazy high-end Chinese smartphones that they've been sending me. I have.
That's pretty cool. Like you get cool. Hey, how are you doing? Ryan, how are you
So I
doing?
have all these smartphones. But the reason I was recommending this product is because, look, guys, like the smartphones, optics are always going to have some limitations, and like they're not the worst, right? These smartphones. I mean, these smartphone cameras are like the optics in them are, I think, slightly better than like the iPhone Pro, but like the iPhone Pro cameras still aren't that good either. Like, you shouldn't be doing professional photography with a phone. You should be doing professional photography with a camera.
Yeah.
So like,
neat.
the problem is that with the smartphone, with the lenses being as small as they are, you have to give up. You have to trade off somewhere, and so what they traded off on was the ability to control the aperture. So you have to balance your exposure with just the ISO and the shutter speed, which means that you either have to have really blurry photos or really grainy photos, which if you're taking pictures of clouds, neither are a good solution. you really need that aperture if you're a storm chaser. So what I've ended up having to do is like make some modifications to my camera by attaching external kit to it. So I threw a light polarizing filter originally just took a light polarizing filter off of my regular camera and just glued it onto the smartphone, so that I could reduce like atmospheric haze, so I could get like clearer shots of the tornado. But that only worked if the tornado was like backlit. So, anyways, it's a whole lot of stuff. But I was like, I found a product online for Vivo phones that'll let you like attach some other filters, like a neutral density filter and a CPL filter on it. It'll help bring out the contrast on some of the clouds a little bit better without like distorting image quality too much. So anyways, it was just like we had to, because these phones, again, these Vivo phones, import ban on them. Like you can't buy these in the US, which is really funny to me. I had to recommend him a Chinese product for China, but like he couldn't find it anywhere. So he's like, "Can you get this on Amazon?" I was like, "I don't think you can," because I couldn't find it on Amazon. I could only buy it from like one of those like Chinese wholesaler like websites like AliExpress. But of course, like everybody in China, you know, get like firewall rules out there and stuff. So he's like, "Oh, didn't have to use a VPN to get to the site." Like, awesome. It was just really funny that it's like to use a VPN to buy a Chinese product meant for another Chinese product in China. Have it mailed to them in China.
Well,
But
if it works.
I think you could use Alibaba. That was it. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry, I was interrupting.
By the way, the session went really well. We didn't do a long one today because, well, it was kind of a good ending point, and you know we didn't want to cut off during the next part because they just kind of finished one part. But short answer: they found out that the ghosts were basically apparitions caused by an old Nazi lab in the Bavarian mountains, and the grudge just boiled over, so they burned the thing down. And now a certain company called Hollow Holdings Incorporated is offering them to retrieve some other stuff. So yeah. Which is also another. It's you know, it's also playing into the whole, you know, European stuff, because like I don't know if you know that Beyond, but Holle is like it's basically something's playing on Frau Holle, which is like a fairy tale from here.
oh, fascinating.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
interesting person. Alright, gang, let's see who's behind these hauntings. Pulls mask off to find actual Nazi ghosts. Jinkies. Actually, they were cow ghosts because, you know. Yeah, they try to make cow humans so they can eat plant matter better. That was like their plan. It was not the nicest thing to do. Especially if you use the old writings / books of an Egyptian goddess that were specifically made for, you know, other animals than cows.
I had kind of a I had a really like unique setting I created for a campaign that for a hunter campaign that I never got to use because the campaign kind of collapsed and didn't really have never got to use it. I'm really disappointed. But I had this idea, kind of like Harry Potter inspired almost.
Almost. You don't want to talk about the tough stuff.
Well, no, it was actually kind of what inspired it. It was like, I had this idea. It was just like a fictional place. So I had this idea. It was like, it was a, I can't remember what I actually named it. So the idea is it was a private Christian college. For I
mean, you know what? That's a very realistic place, actually. They exist.
Well, yeah, they do exist. Well, you know, so I dated somebody who was on like a private Christian college before, and I don't know, they're like pretty normal universities, just smaller and much more Jesus-y.
Fair.
There's a lot of really good, high quality private Christian colleges, but here was the whole gimmick, right? The idea is so I created this fictional private Christian college that it was based on an island. right, so the whole island is just like the whole campus is just on an island, right? You have to take a boat to get out there.
Sepp's future job.
What?
Zepp didn't blink out. By the way, Zepp is working at a Catholic school as a teacher, so...
Oh, yeah.
Sure, this isn't a horror campaign. We're talking Hunter, so...
It's kind of horror.
It is horror. I just... The thing is... The problem for me, at least, is if I do TTRPGs, I just tend to do the sillies. I cannot escape the sillies. I try to make it still serious, but there will be a little bit of silly. As you know.
I mean, we started off the session today very silly.
Nazis creating cow ghosts by accident. That's a thing.
The whole idea behind this is it was like the owner of this, like, you know, like it's a privately owned, you know, like whole thing, right? That it was this like super like wealthy eccentric guy who like founded this university. So the idea was like off the coast of Alaska. You know, it was in the rainforests and like the southern like scattered islands of Alaska, so much closer to like British, like Vancouver, like that whole area. So like the more temperate, like warmer climate area. So like much closer to like the Pacific Northwest, basically.
Oh god, other madness!
So
God damn it.
Yeah, so it's just like this. It's like this secluded little island that's got a private Christian university on it, and it's built in an old Russian fort, like built in an old Russian fortress, right? Because like, you know, part of that area used to be like Russian territory.
Yeah, it was Russia. Did they build fortresses there?
Yes, there is. There are some. Not that far south. That part is made up, but there are some Russian forts in. I mean, they're mostly.
I mean,
just,
not
like,
that the
tiles of
Canadians would have noticed if the Russians accidentally built a bit farther south.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty expansive out there. But the whole conceit of it is it's like the guy is very heavily inspired by like Hobby Lobbies. I don't know if you guys know. Hobby Lobby is owned by Christian pundits.
Yeah.
And they've been like stealing artifacts from the Middle East, basically. Like that's what they've been doing. Not selling them in Hobby Lobby, just like their family's been owning them. So the idea is like this like wealthy family that owns a private Christian university, like all the stuff on their campus is like they've been buying up all this like cursed like shit, but like they bought the wrong cursed item, so like now they have to keep buying this. They have to keep buying this stuff because there's a mummy there. It's a mummy. The whole thing is just a mummy. So that was the whole conceit for all of it. Was that the campus itself, the entirety of the island itself, is now under the curse of a mummy, and it's trying to rebuild its empire on that island.
I mean, I guess.
All of that. So the island itself is like a living entity that is an extension of the mummy. That was my whole bit, but I never got to use that. So,
I mean, was it for the campaign where I was about to join?
Yes, that was.
With the wood chipper. Yeah, that was interesting. Basically, so bit of context. Beyond invited me to Hunter the Vigil campaign, and basically a lot of his. The thing is, most of his players were American and made American characters. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to make the arch Christian, European one, with Wolf as a companion. And the Holy Fury, devotion to the Vatican and all that. The very, like, okay, you know what? Sorry, every time Hunter comes up, I think me and Agonia just tend to make versions of Anderson. Just
not Supernatural?
No, you know what? I like Supernatural, and maybe I will make a Dean one day. Who knows? She will be a girl failure, though. But I do like to play the hardline Christian to a degree.
Anderson and Dean aren't so far apart, character-wise.
Okay, no, Dean is a failure of a human being.
Anderson as well?
No, Anderson is just a Christian.
He kills his protege.
Yes, and? That's Christian. Dean is too dense to fuck an angel.
It depends on the flavor of Christian, I would argue.
God, I really want to rewatch Supernatural at some point. It's such a great show, especially since who has watched Supernatural here?
A long time ago.
What did you say yes, Beyond?
Yeah, I fell off at like the last 2 seasons. I haven't seen the last 2.
They're
I know
great,
that, like, the show
actually.
wrapped up.
Like, I think that the most amazing thing that this show delivered, in my opinion, was that it got better with time. Like, the first 2 seasons are fine. You're like, okay, yeah, it's a bit of your more standard, how's it called?
Like the monster of the week stuff.
It's
I
a
thought
monst-
was real good.
Oh yeah, it's a good month of the week stuff, but like, I really, okay, so slight spoilers. Basically, at some point, they are preventing the apocalypse, but that's like after the first, like the second or third season. They're like, and literally
The first
characters-
one is sealing hell again.
Yeah, but it's like the first ones are pretty basic, and then they're like, oh shit, I guess we just prevented the apocalypse. What happens now? And then the finger just goes off the rails. Like, for example, yeah, we just locked Lucifer in a cage. Like, who's in charge of hell now? And then you're like, oh, literally the best character of the whole goddamn show that only like 10 seasons, not 10, like 6 seasons later, only gets topped by his fucking mother showing up. And you're like, how does this goddamn show just keep making characters so good? Like, Crowley is the best. He's just amazing.
Crowley is pretty good. Crowley, I was gonna say, Crowley is the. They really needed to.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there is there is like a lot of versions of, say the devil is a salesman, but holy shit, Crowley is like genuinely like top, like number 1, maybe besides Hades from Hercules, but yeah, Crowley is just really good, and it just, and then they have the whole thing of, oh, we're introducing basically a child to the roster in like the later season. You're like, oh god, is this going? And it goes, and then it goes away, and you're like, oh wait, no, this is actually really good. Holy shit! And you know what's the amazing part is? They nail the ending, and then they add one more episode, and it fucks everything up. I am so like that's probably the thing I think it's the probably most insane part, that they managed to basically have the perfect ending for the show, like quite literally the perfect fucking ending, and then they just had to fuck it up with one more episode. They just literally didn't need to do the last episode, and they did, and it's like, don't do this.
You just
Why?
watched the last episode.
Yes, I recommend it.
Yeah,
Don't
I
watch
recommend it. Don't watch the last episode. You will be
Common sense.
so utterly satisfied with the ending because it is perfect. It makes so much sense on so many narrative levels on what they have set up, and it just fits. And yeah.
They probably had a contract to fulfill for one more episode. Probably what happened.
No, like it really feels like they thought this was like the last episode they should do, and like it actually ends with them saying like a big, hey, thank you for being us with here for like 12 seasons and such, and we really loved it, and like, that goodbye part I get. Just the rest.
I have a slight suspicion they were just a bit afraid of the implications. For the first thing, like...
Yeah. Like...
They would have pissed off some Christian, let's just say it like that.
Yeah. It's a pretty good, like, the ending before, like, I mean, it just fits. It's one of those, yep, that ending just
it
works.
does.
Oh, fuck. But yeah. I mean, hey, one thing I'm generally interested in, apparently there is a crossover with The Boys in the next The Boys season.
Oh.
Yeah, they announced...
Yeah,
it's the same studio and stuff, and they have some characters and some actors overlapping anyway, and apparently they just said, yo, they just had a whole video where like Dean was like, hey, Sam, and how was the angel called? Castiel? We need it. It's like, you know what? Weird crossovers. I mean, honestly, Supernatural already had some unique crossovers, and they were all pretty great.
Yeah, they did. They sure did.
The fact they were able to go for a fucking Scooby-Doo crossover and it's perfect is just like,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna head now. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was a bit of tank driving then, so should we just switch to something else or do some more tank driving?
See you guys.
Night, Ruben.
Right.
Yeah.
Any idea what to switch to, chat? What would you be interested in?
You should play that video because nobody's watched it. I really want to show you guys this fucking tornado I got. It's really cool. I promise.
Fuck it. I mean, you know what? Why not? Let me check. You put it in the main channel?
Yeah. It's like 3 minutes long. I just sped it up. It's like 5 minutes long. Whatever.
Fine.
There's music. I license the music. You probably want to mute that.
What?
It's licensed music. You should mute it.
Yeah, then I will mute it. I will just change the thing to just chatting then.
Yes.
I mean, it will just go up as the Nyacast on YouTube anyway, so no one shall complain. They shall not complain.
Or else.
You shall not complain. Yeah, if anyone has an idea...
Is verboten.
if anyone has an idea for what to, play next, maybe while we just yap. Or if you have a topic to talk about besides the tornado that I will put up here, just tell it.
I got some politics things. I got some hot takes.
Oh, hot takes. Oh well.
You're in good You're probably going to be in good company for that, anyways.
I mean, we could also just talk about gaming stuff first. Like, the completely shocking thing happened. GTA 6 got delayed.
Oh, who could have seen this coming?
Whoa, wow! Everyone's like, "Oh, is it still launching in front of Borderlands 4?" And I was like, "No." The fact that 2K literally was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to release this game this fall, and we're gonna put up some how's it called? We're having a full state of play to just explain what we're doing, what is going on with that game. Also, we're pulling it 2 weeks early." And I'm like, GTA 6 is still so hard delayed. Everyone was like, "But maybe they will still do it," and they delayed it today. It's like, God damn it!
I do kind of feel sorry for the people, for the businesses that already announced a 1 month delay to avoid overlapping with GTA 6.
Okay, here's a few things I want to say about GTA 6. First of all, it was kind of obvious that it wouldn't happen because, again, else they wouldn't have pushed Borderlands 4 this much. Which looks, by the way, looks pretty good, actually. Not gonna lie, this is probably gonna be a really good release this year. But also, I think everyone is just... You know what? Maybe I will eat this, but holy shit, I think GTA 6 is getting a little bit overhyped. As in, I'm not seeing people genuinely be like, "Oh, this is looking like the best game ever." It's more like, yeah, this is gonna be the biggest one ever. Also, holy shit, there's tornadoes happening.
Yeah. So there's 2 of them happening at the same time here. So this is my dash cam footage. So unfortunately, as a dash cam, it decided to focus on my the raindrops on my windshield instead of a fucking tornado outside the window.
Oh.
So
yeah, it's still cool.
Autofocus. But you can see it in the background there. This one started it. So the absolutely insane thing happened after this, which is the whole point of this video. So I try. Obviously, I'm doing the thing you're not supposed to do when you see a tornado, which is get closer to it.
I mean, didn't you almost just run through one? I just joined shortly afterwards this stream.
Yeah, I did 0 meter one a couple weeks ago, but so I saw this one, I realized, hang on a second, there are 2 supercells merging with each other here. So you can see, it looks like, you see there's a big area of rotation here. There's actually 2 different storms merging together. There's one in the background back there, and there's one in the foreground. it kind of looks like it's just one. And it's because they're becoming one. They're merging together.
Ooh.
And so my buddy who's in the car parked behind me there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll see it in a second. He was on his phone, like tweeting, because he thought like the tornado was done. And I'm like, hold on, these two storms are merging. When two storms merge like this, they intensify. And sure enough, that's what started happening. So you can see that here.
Oh yeah, that is one hell of a big tornado. Holy shit.
Well, wait for it. Wait for it. That's not the tornado. Yeah. So it's like when I saw that, it's like, oh shit.
You get out of the way.
It's like because I had that moment, I transfixed by it, but it was like, oh shit, I'm like in immediate danger. I have to leave like yesterday. So
yeah.
You can see all the other cars that are like fucking off as that thing dropped down. But that thing went from being like 500 yards across to being like anyway, it's finally come in and put this thing down at 1.25 miles wide.
Oh, fuck. How much is that in non-freedom numbers?
It's 2.4. Or is that? No, not 2.4.
It's 2 kilometers. It's
Wow.
1.6.
That train should move, by the way. That train is like...
So I'm going to talk about that train in a second. But so that train is like 10 miles long, by the way. That's just how trains are.
I mean, in the US,
so
yes.
Yes, so it's not like moving that train's going to do a whole lot for them. So the reason I'm parked here,
maybe.
Well, the reason I'm parked here is because, and I didn't catch this here. You can kind of catch it, but did you see that there? That for a hot second, there was another tornado that formed on the exact opposite side of me. There was 2 tornadoes there. I labeled them here.
Yeah.
Because I had to drive out of the way to get out of them. So I had 3 tornadoes on camera at once here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of tornadoes, but also holy shit, those are yellow fields.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what happens as you are out of grass growing season.
Yeah. This is. I mean, this is.
Oh wow.
It's like
that's a. You really were kind of in a dangerous
area. That is a pretty
area.
tornado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this one I mislabeled. That's actually Tornado 7.
Yeah.
And then I was tilting that I goofed it. Oops. But this is a great way to wrap up this day. I saw 2 more after this and just didn't get them on camera.
Didn't you also get a fire tornado recently?
I did get a fire tornado recently. Yeah.
Nice.
But look at that! I can't believe I got that. Like that was just such a picture.
That's a lot of
I think
stuff.
I really wanted to highlight. Yeah, I think I wanted to highlight. If you scrub back, if you go back on the footage there, when you see
yeah.
that
One second.
down over the lake. I want you to look at what direction the waves are moving over the lake.
Which part of the footage?
Oh, that was just that very last tornado when I pull out from around that mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the waves are pulling towards it. That's cool. Yeah. God, weather is great.
Yeah, there we go. So when the waves look how the waves. So notice that the waves are not pulling towards the tornado. Notice how they're pulling towards that like black mass ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not one tornado there. That is 2 tornadoes. There is one that is on the ground in the background, and then there's a new one forming in the forward flank of it. So that one was that was another tornado that tried to form in front of it over that lake. So that, I mean, it's a good thing that didn't form.
Then you should have just...
That would have been very close to us. But,
you would have needed to get the fuck out of there at that point.
I absolutely would have stayed there. I would have been that guy that waited till the last second until that thing was gone. But because I don't know if you saw the track that tornado took when it lifted, but the circulation went right over top of us after it lifted. So, anyways, that was all a span of like 2 hours that all happened. That was my weekend.
Damn.
That was a 5% tornado risk day, like not a 15%, not a 10%, not even a.
It was just a small one.
That was just a little tornado risk day, and like that was literally the only storm in the entire like United States. Like anywhere in the country, that was like the only thunderstorm. It was just that one thunderstorm had a tornado, like that big fucking tornado. For a while, just the radar signature was huge, so like there was some question about whether or not this was actually going to be. There was some question for a little bit whether those 3 tornadoes were actually 3 discrete tornadoes, or if it was one giant fucking tornado, and those were subvortices, and that thing was like, you know, a 2.5 mile wide tornado. Like there was a question for a minute.
But it was one apparently.
Yeah, about whether this was just the largest tornado ever to happen. But so.
Damn.
Anyways, I did get some good photography though, and so I'm really hoping that I win this photo competition thing. I mean, I'm still getting paid for it, but that would be pretty sweet.
Hey.
So anyways, you guys should help me rig this photo competition.
In China. Wait up, wait, I just gonna call my Chinese homies and they will do that for you. No problems.
I think it's international. I think
Hey, okay.
Anyways,
yeah.
I'm not talking about rigging voting right now. By the way,
Yeah, that
speaking
would
of rigging
reduce your
voting,
social
by the way,
credit.
Not a thing actually. It's just a
I
lie
know.
that Americans make up about China.
I know. I know, but it's also to a degree a funny joke.
Yeah.
Calling up the Zhongguomis.
So yeah, Oklahoma is now teaching that the 2020 election was rigged in their public schools.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
I
man.
remember hearing about that.
Love it.
Wow.
I love this for us. That's my favorite thing. Love this. I mean, while we're just like teaching just whatever we want now, I have a few other suggestions about things that we should teach in public schools. Like, if we're just gonna go with that, I think we should teach the monument mythos instead of American history, because that's way cooler.
The what?
You guys, okay.
We're European. We don't have that here.
Oh no, the Monument Mythos is an analog horror series that posits that all like the big major monuments in the U.S. like Mount Rushmore and Statue of Liberty are actually like Lovecraftian creatures, and like the actual like United States of America, like the actual states themselves are like Lovecraftian otherworldly horrors that are like fighting for each other beneath the surface of the earth. It's kind of
What?
a lot to go in. And there's like time travel involved. There's special trees. Like it's a lot to get into.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
America moment.
It is very much an America moment. It's like, oh hey,
Oh yeah, and George Washington fell into the Delaware River as he was crossing it and got frozen in ice, and then was reawakened by Ronald Reagan in the future. Listen, it's really good. You got to watch the monument.
Can I say one thing? Every time I hear something from just like literature that just rewrites something about the American history, it really feels like some author woke up one day and realized, wait a second, the history of my country is fucking boring besides the awful stuff. Let's just write some insane shit instead.
Oh yeah, Monument Mythos is like very much like a critique of like American imperialism.
Okay, that's actually
Superman is real. Superman is real.
What?
In Monument Mythos.
Is he depressed or?
No, I think it's it's a lot. There's aliens on the moon.
I mean, otherwise there wouldn't be aliens, right?
Yeah. Oh, and then also the island of Alcatraz is like because like states are like actual like living entities that are like that exist, right? Like they're metaphysical creatures, right? The island of Alcatraz, like the Supermax prison.
Yes.
It's like a tumor, right? Like it's a weird tumorous growth that grew on California, and so it's like rapidly multiplying. It's called Alcatraz syndrome, and Alcatraz is slowly like replicating across the United States. Like there's just new Alcatrazes popping up everywhere. I'm telling you, Monument
What the fuck? I mean, I generally have to.
It's so good.
It's so good.
You have to get into it.
It's so good. Say some of the most insane shit imaginable.
Well, it sounds positively fucked up.
I think this sounds probably something you would do, like, yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, this is some shit I would be in. This is a, yeah, or yeah, no, like the twin. I didn't realize this. I didn't know this, but there was also a twin statue planned for. The Statue of Liberty had like a twin statue. Like the sculptor had another statue he wanted to make that didn't get made.
I mean, the Statue of Liberty was actually supposed to be at the entrance of the Suez Canal. Like.
Yeah, there was another one.
I mean, that's actually an interesting thing because, like, Statue of Liberty is actually depicting an Egyptian woman.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another statue. So yeah, there was another statue that's supposed to be the Statue of Liberty. That other statue, so in this universe actually gets made and is correct and is actually at Ellis Island. And so like it's the correct Statue of Liberty that exists at Ellis Island, and the other statue whose name I can't remember, that one like is also like a Lovecraftian creature, and so that creature ends up like having to gets in a fight. Okay, so Air Force One, also a living creature. I'd like to explain. All the soldiers from the Iraq. All the soldiers from the Iraq War died in like they formed into like a super creature because all their souls gathered together and like formed like a super creature that took over Air Force One, and Air Force One had to fight that creature. Listen, again, you got to get into this. It's awesome. And they had like. It's pretty amazing. Like I said, it's wildly creative. It's very interesting. It has a message. It's got something to say. It's really cool. I don't know what else to say.
Sounds a bit like New Weird.
It's real. It's
yeah. You know what? I wasn't in the beginning
talking about the genre, but yeah.
New Weird is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monument Mythos. But that's what I'm saying. We should teach this instead of regular American history. There's literally like a kaiju fight between like the Statue of Liberty and the ghost of all these soldiers from the Iraq War, embodied in Air Force One. Like I don't know, it's fucking cool.
I mean, it's still better than whatever the fucking right wingers are trying to teach.
Yeah.
Yeah. More.
I mean the last statistic I saw, lots of professors actually like reluctant to teach evolution alone. Like they let lots of room for the creationists. So technically you could just start, some people believe America was founded on this and that, but actually...
Exactly. But some of us know the real truth.
And
George Washington, see, he fell off the boat and got frozen.
I believe they call these kinds of things, what's it called? Hostile compliance or something like that. I remember talking about
that would actually be
coworkers.
Malicious compliance.
Malicious compliance.
Yeah.
That's one. My coworkers and I were talking about it a year ago, I think.
No better time than now to do it.
Remember when I think like one school in the USA were like nothing about gender and thus they spoke without pronouns?
Oh yeah.
Any pronouns. No I, no nothing.
People have been like...
There's a lot that students will do.
Oh, the teachers as well.
Yeah. Like, if you get one, teacher who's reasonable and nice, they can get students to do so many things. Especially if it's like a semi-malicious type thing. Or if this is like a hard-ass, not a very fun teacher, students are going to be rebellious.
Oh, yeah.
And most of the hard-asses and not-so-fun teachers are the ones that are, parroting the weird stuff that the administration wants them to parrot.
Oh yeah, they're probably not gonna have
some teachers also just make room for example creationism so that they won't get shit on by the parents. It's also a thing because they can make extra trouble.
limits on some of the things that can be said. We don't really have that problem at my school. My school is very, very liberal for a Catholic institution. Well, even considering like.
Well, the Catholics are not creationists. As a general.
That's what I wanted to say. Like, I mean, the thing is that that a lot of times in the history of humanity, like a lot of Catholic organizations were actually like the progressive ones.
Ironically.
Ironically. It's
Darwin.
not always, but it's not always the case, but they are. Like, I mean, especially since a bunch of stuff is like sometimes even misrepresented. Like, for example, people are like, oh, they hated Galilei, and like the reality was more like, when Galilei came, we're like, hey, here's the heliocentric model. The Catholic Church didn't say, no, you're wrong. It isn't this heliocentric model. They were like, listen, buddy, you have really fucking weak evidence for your proposal. Like, they actually went in with science. We're like, buddy, no, what you present here is weak ass shit. You should come back later. He was right. But the thing is, the moment, someone actually proved it with better evidence, they were like, yeah, see, the evidence lines up now. Then...
Yeah.
One of the few times the Catholic Church wasn't drag kicking and screaming into the...
Yeah. It's like, history is not as...
I'm not too big on the Catholic Church history, but I'm pretty sure that there was a pretty sizable period of time where the church was actually like the forefront of knowledge and innovation and
a lot of time, for a long time.
Reform.
If they
even to this day, they employ a wider range of scientists because, for example,
I mean, there's a reason why we have the Gregorian calendar. Because Pope Gregorio was the one who figured out, or Saint Gregorio was the one that figured it out.
Yeah,
and he was a church member.
Yeah, and I mean, also there's stuff like, for example, they, by the way, this is also one reason why a lot of, especially splinter groups and cults, especially in the USA, really do not like the Roman Catholic Church, because they have like a whole scientist team, atheistic scientists, by the way, employed just there because, like, if someone claims there is a miracle, that they go there and just be like, okay, let's dissect this whole thing, by the way. This is why, miracles nowadays are just not accepted a lot. Like, absolutely rarely is there even, like, this... Even then, they're not like, say, this was a miracle. It's more like, this could be a miracle. We have it on the possibility list. And, the problem is that cults really want to rely on miracles, and they hate that fact. Like, by the way, I'm not really, like, being like, hey, the Catholic Church is cool and all. It's still a fucking Roman Catholic Church. But it's still funny.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't there also, I think, $20 million reward until a few years ago to prove that someone can do something supernatural? And then Uri Geller went there.
Oh god, Uri Geller is like the biggest fucking hack in human history. Holy shit, that guy is such an embarrassment.
Yeah. He claims he's an alien, I think.
He says he's an alien. It's absolutely dumb shit. And okay.
Remember,
I don't know.
I think one was like, I can move pages in a phone book with my mind. And they could. Mm-hmm. Until the testers put a glass bowl over it, because it turns out they were just hiding that they were blowing onto the pages.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know. Is Uri Geller actually a big thing outside of, like, Central Europe?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Good.
Okay.
Ooh.
Good. Okay. Basically, it's an... Okay, by the way, he's from Israel, so,
Well, hey, are you talking about
Uri
who I think
Geller.
you are?
The guy that's plastered a lot of fucking spoons all over his car because he's and says like, oh, I can find oil for companies, and he's just
Oh yeah,
He sued Pokemon
that guy
for for like
That guy got thoroughly owned on American television.
Oh yeah, I know. Because how was he called again?
James fucking Randy, my favorite guy.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Basically, how was he? What was his stage name again?
The Amazing Randy. Yeah.
No, it was someone else. It was like he was a big street magician and has like a big show in Las Vegas. How was he called again?
No, it was
I think you mean Chris
James Randy,
Do
right?
you mean Chris Angel?
Chris Angel, yes. It was Chris Angel, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so it's actually a great story. So basically, Uri Geller had like a show that was pretty popular in Israel. So they tried to export that to like, they did this show like in a lot of countries. They had a German spin-off, they had one in America. The thing is just the American one was really fucking funny. Because basically the thing is, a lot of magicians, they know magic is a trick, okay? It's just show business.
They should know. They know how it works.
Yes, and the thing is, there's still, some debate on should you tell the trick or should you not. That's one thing, but like...
It's a different story.
Yeah, but basically, a bit of background. Chris Angel is like probably the best magician of our time right now. Like, the guy is really good, and like his big inspiration is like Houdini, He's really good at his job. Like, he did some other stuff that could be talked about where, like, why the fuck did he do that? But, nothing horrible. It's just weird decisions. But the thing is, he's really good as a magician. And the thing is, Uri Geller is a hack, but fucking believes apparently himself that he actually has supernatural powers. And basically, there was this show trying to, they had this, reality TV show to find, like, the next Uri Geller, was it called here, and, like, people with supernatural powers and shit, and, actual psychics and stuff. And the thing is, for the American one, they had, in the jury, they had Uri Geller, obviously, and everyone was like, oh, wow, Chris Angel! What? That's great. Oh, wow, big magician. Obviously, he has some legitimacy. The thing is, Chris Angel was there just to troll. Literally. He literally had an envelope and was like, hey, I have a number in here, and whoever can tell me what number the fuck that is, like, you get some money. And no one could do it, obviously. The number was, by the way, 911. No one could do it. And, like, Uri Geller legitimately got angry because, like, Chris Angel said, yeah, I'm a magician in show business, but, like, if someone actually claims he has supernatural powers, I will bust his fucking ass. So he accepted that job only to, like, literally, to just literally own Uri Geller on live TV. Insane power move.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, though, right? Is so one, James Randi did own Uri Geller on a separate thing. He did do that. He did this bust the spoons thing. Like, that's absolutely. The fact that Chris Angel dunked on him too, also very, very funny. But like, here's the thing, though, right? Is like, it's just like, the one thing you're not supposed to do if you're like an illusionist or a magician is you're not supposed to claim it's real, right? Because you're like not supposed to like mislead people in that way. Yeah. Because there are people who claim that their shit is real and they use it to like scam grandma into like spending a lot of money on psychics and shit. So like when people do that, people like Chris Angel are allowed to come in and dunk on these idiots.
Oh because, yeah, absolutely. Like good move on Chris Angel's part. Like absolutely. Yeah.
Like. Chris Angel is kind of a tool, but like also I think people just made fun of him because his style was a bit weird in the 90s. But like, come on, man, that's funny. It's legitimately funny. You gotta respect it. You really gotta respect it. Oh, funny shit this week.
Yeah.
So what did Randy do then?
What?
It exposed the spoon trick.
Ah, okay.
But like, I mean, that's also. Yeah, I mean, that's also, like, kind of the thing with Uri Geller. Like, you know what the thing is? Why he's, like, such a... Like, he's like, actually a hack. Like, he believes the shit. And he scams people with it. But also, holy shit, is he a fucking lazy one-trick pony.
It's like his one
Like,
thing.
he can. The thing he does is bend spoons and. Oh, I can make your old watch work again if you put it onto the TV. And you know what the funniest part about that is? That's a trick that isn't even working anymore. He's just such a fucking hack. And like, he literally did that here on the, German show. And the thing is more like, okay. So the thing is, the reason he always does that is, it's basically put your watch on the TV, your broken old watch, and then it starts working again, magically, because he channels his psionic energies through the TV onto the watch. The trick here is, so there are fluids inside of a watch, an old one, and those can crust up, harden. If you put it on a TV, specifically, back in the day when this was the live TV time, we had this thing called CRTVs, and those things produce heat. So if you put the fucking watch at the beginning of the show onto the TV, and he just utters some shit on the camera, well, the fucking worm of your TV heats up the fucking liquid, the crusted liquid inside of the clock, and it works again for a few minutes. Wow! And he keeps doing this shit. It's such a fucking one-trick pony hack. It's awe. It's yeah. You're probably baffled by how cheap that trick is, right?
I mean, the crazy thing is just how lazy it is.
It is lazy, and he keeps doing it.
You could just like worm it up in your hand, or you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be too much interaction from the viewer, thus limiting the value of like how powerful he is himself.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. I guess it. Yeah, I guess it. I haven't actually seen him do this, so I don't know what like the mechanism is.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, howdy.
Well, the mechanism is just warmth.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, how does he do it? How does he? So he just puts it on there. Does he like wave his hands around it, or does he like concentrate?
No,
like,
he doesn't put anything.
No, it's just literally.
He's not even in the room.
He literally just tells people to put their watches on the TV, and he's like, just sending his psionic energies through the TV for the show time.
Says something you might hear on Linus Tech Tips, and then
it's
actually presented as, oh, I'm doing this through the TV.
Yes.
Oh. So that's a. Oh no. Oh no. Don't do that, you're killing.
Yes.
Don't do that.
And like the thing is, when they had the German version of that show, like the thing is, it was kind of a shit show, and it's also scrubbed from the internet. Like, you can not actually watch it anymore or buy it. They just literally try to just scrape that whole fucking show down. Because... what?
I'd be embarrassed by that shit too.
Yeah. The thing is just more like, what also came out afterwards is the fact that, they hired a few people who were just like, it's show business, typical magicians. Actually, pretty like some of the most successful magicians now in the business, like, and they're not hiding that. They're like, we're good magicians, okay? And the thing is, okay, so this show is like actually just famous for two things, or three. The first one is basically they fucking pushed them into like really shitty contracts, so that they all had to actually pretend they are supernatural. They have supernatural powers, which is bullshit. And they later even said it's bullshit. The second thing is, so one of the guys had a crow, and said he could talk to the dead through his crow.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
The crow shat on fucking live TV on stage. So that is just part of German meme culture now.
I mean, that's pretty good though.
Yeah, it's like, the thing is, he literally just uttered some words like, can you tell me your wisdom? The crow.
I like this crow.
Yes.
What's up?
I genuinely love it one.
Mad respect.
Okay, the thing is, the guy is weird though, because he's more like it's almost portraying as if it's a romantic little relationship with the crow, but it's still a crow. Crows are great. Anyway,
You don't know what the crow is thinking.
I know what the crow's shitting.
It's a crow shit.
Yeah.
So
we know that ostriches have there's plenty of ostriches that have a human fetish, so that's who knows what crows are into.
yeah, and so there's the third thing, and it's a thing they got famous for because after the first episode aired or so, was it the first second? So in one of the episodes aired, he actually tried. They actually started suing YouTube to take down the clip because someone recorded that episode and put a clip up because in one scene, in one part of the show, Uri Geller was like, I'm going to use the power of my mind to move something, and then you can just clearly see on camera how he puts a magnet on his finger.
I mean, technically, if you want to get real pedantic about it, he is using the power of his mind. He did think that he could do that. So
yeah, it's just
he thought he could get away with that.
it's just like here's the thing. You know what? I mean, ironically, it's one of the few times where he doesn't do one of his standard things of tricks, and then he just does it so lazily. It's just there's no even room for misinterpretation. It's just visible on live TV that he just put the fucking magnet on his hand, and someone put it on YouTube, and they were like, "Nope, scorched earth that never backfired ever in human history."
It just works.
It just works. Oh, that guy is just.
Trying to build an itinerary for this
Yeah.
weekend because I'm pulling some soundings for some. Looks like we're gonna have some more spicy weather, real spicy weather. Actually, when I say spicy weather, I mean it's gonna be like some of these soundings are basically like. I'm pretty sure this one's literally in. Pretty sure this one's literally in Mexico,
Oui.
about as close to Mexico as you can get, I think. This is gonna be fun. Boy howdy. Yeah, these are all out in the Sonora Desert. Oh boy, we're going to Texas this weekend, guys.
Yeehaw.
This is a I didn't know this is. Huh. There's a place called Kickapoo Cavern State Park. That's a.
I mean, yes.
I'm not sure what that name is. I mean,
Probably some old cavern from the 20s.
Yeah, I'm sure, but Kickapoo.
There were some weird naming stages for caverns back then.
A long
Specifically in that period
time
of
ago, in a town called Kickapoo, there lived a humble family, religious through and through. I'm sorry, that's a biggest song.
Yeah, Oh, hello. Why is there a black sun here? That's concerning.
Yeah, Black Sun is concerning. I mean, at that one time in Kickapoo, two rock legends converged. It's Dio came out of a poster, and apparently Meatloaf founded a family there. So,
is Kickapoo a place that people know about? Is this
okay. Question: have you ever watched Tenacious D: The Pick of Destiny?
Oh God, I have. Yeah, it was years ago. I don't even remember that movie. I was so
Look
so
up the
fucking
song.
baked to watch that movie.
Okay, there is a song in there called Kickapoo, and it's basically the backstory of why Jack Black left home and ran off to California because he and it's like it's a musical, so he has a whole song about the fact that he lived in a small town called Kickapoo, and his family was just religious. By the way, his father is played by Meatloaf, and he has a part in the song he sings, and like it kicks ass because it's fucking Meatloaf. The guy has an insane voice, and yeah, basically, the father is like singing at him, like, how he should embrace Jesus and stuff, and rock and roll is the devil's work, and then at the end, there's he rips everything out of the room of JB, but except for the one Dio poster behind the door, and so JB starts praying to Dio, like, Dio, can you hear me? I am lost and so alone. And then fucking Dio comes out, like, it's Dio, they still had him for that movie, comes out of the poster and tells him he has to go to the city of fallen angels to find his true destiny. That's literally a song, and it's amazing. It's like a really good song. Yeah, so this is why the moment you said Kickapoo, it's like, I'm sorry, that song went through my head. I can't play it yet. I wish I could play it yet. You know what? I'm just gonna post it in the Discord, actually. So.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, send it. I will give it a listen. Yeah, I literally saw that movie. I want to say shit like 2009.
It's long ago.
Very, very long time ago, and I was very baked when I saw it. So.
Oh God! Like you know what? Just in the music channel.
As you are when engaging with Tenacious D.
I mean, that is the right way to do it, though.
I mean, by the way, this movie, if you're wondering, if you remember, Tenacious D had like the one-hit tribute, which is a banger song about how they wrote the best song in the world one time, and that movie is the backstory of how Tenacious D formed, but also how they wrote the best song of all time.
I'm running the numbers for this weekend, and I am pulling significant tornado soundings all over the fucking desert Southwest, which is crazy because the desert Southwest, I mean, like the regular Southwest, like the regular non-desert Southwest, I mean, it gets tornadoes, but like the desert Southwest, with all the like red rocks and shit, not a lot of tornadoes. So the fact that this is going to happen in some like Wild West ass locations, pretty cool. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to post a link to some of these like locations that I'm pulling here. This is going to be some cowboy ass storm chasing this weekend. This shit's going to just look like a John Wayne movie.
Get a fucking horse.
I might storm chase on a horse. That'd be fucking cool. But which horse? I know like 4 horses, and I'm not allowed to ride any of them.
I mean, by the way, I don't think we're gonna do another game here again. I think.
Is that relevant?
I don't think
we're talking.
I just wanted to ask if anyone wants to play something as we yap.
This place is called Taliban, New Mexico? Taliban.
Oh, okay.
There's no L in there.
So,
That would have been awfully not on point, but like awfully specific.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? How did that name happen?
But there's also a location on the map here called Melrose Bird Migrant Trap, which I'm not sure what that means.
It's probably like it might be a watering hole for migrant workers.
Yeah,
or migratory birds.
Migratory birds, yeah. That says Melrose Bird. There's also some. Boy, this is an interesting looking place. You know, I'm just gonna. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just drop the. I'm gonna drop the Google Maps guy here, and then we can explore it. We can have this experience together. Why don't we do that? I'm gonna send you guys a link, and maybe we can make sense of this place. We're gonna look. The link here is provided by the photography here is provided by the New Mexico Tourism Department. So New Mexico specifically put these locations on Google Maps because they wanted us to see them. And I'm not really sure what to make of this, honestly.
Can they be shown on stream? Is it like?
Yeah. This is
okay.
On stream. Let me.
I'd assume that if the New Mexico Board of Tourism is posting it on their website, then I'd assume
you never know what some people put on their website. Like, there's a whole, like, for example, in Japan, there's a festival where they basically bring out they tour a giant penis statue through town.
It's dicks. It's all dicks.
Yes,
There we go.
obviously,
That's not
always.
dicks. But yeah, there. Posted the thing. Yeah, I think that should take you to like a 360 pano link on Google Maps.
Yes. Let me just check really quickly. Everything all right? Let me just pull it up. There we go. New Mexico Tourism Department.
Yeah, I don't know
it's
what
like,
this is.
oh, that looks like an old base for like a watchtower.
Yeah, or something. It's an interactive tour, so you can like
Wait.
click around on this thing too.
There are old structures on the ground here.
Yeah, there's yeah.
There was definitely a building here. You can see the outline.
But you can follow that trail and see what this is. So I'm not sure what it is. There's also some tree fall there. I'm not sure what that is either. I'm not sure what this is.
There's like there probably no drug lab.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, why would the New York?
If you look down, you can kind of see the walker,
like I mean
the person.
Yeah, the person who carried the 360 camera in.
yeah.
So
It's
I'm not sure what this. I'm not sure what this.
You
is.
know
So
what?
maybe it's
It might be, given the building style and it's this possible age.
Mhm.
It might be a trail that was used during the either the move west or the during the
concrete.
what's it called? The Spanish missionaries
Concrete.
used.
I mean, they were using concrete back then.
Really? That's
Yeah.
thing?
Concrete's not that old, not that young of a tech.
Yeah, Romans had concrete.
I mean, yeah, but they used it differently then.
Oh, well, there's rebar in there though, so
Yeah.
that's different.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's is that rebar or is that
I'm going back.
Oh, maybe.
that just looks like a pipe.
Yeah.
It looks like a pipe.
I mean, it could be a border fortress from back in the
That could be.
Spanish American War.
What I'm also thinking about the concrete, like it's not that new, but like in this form, it does seem like this. The weathering makes it seem like a couple decades old, and like if this is older, I don't know if they would build with concrete like this far out away from.
They had like the stone.
Yeah.
I see. That's just like that's stuff. But like the on top, that would probably would have been some sort of how's it called? It probably would have been more wood than anything else.
Yeah. I'm not
It could be
sure
that
how
the
old
roof
stone is.
collapsed at one point and the
Then why
and
put the
Mexico
concrete?
just, like, well, no. So like before they got into like preservation mode, it could be that whoever was in charge of that structure built that. So maybe
Melrose bird
years ago.
migrant trap. Let's just Google it.
Okay, well, yeah, we did get an answer on this. Okay. So
Let me just.
Well, yeah. So first of all, just zoom out on the map or go to satellite mode and just take a look at what this location is, or drive away from it a little bit on like Street View, just to kind of get a sense of what this is and where it's located, because it says a lot about what it is, just from where it is, and I think really help impress upon
Kind
you
of like
like
in the grasslands area. Like this is pretty arid, and there's like a small wood stuff. Like this is an oasis.
it's an oasis. Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's because all these trees there, they're big old cottonwood trees. And if you drive away from that a little bit, it's an oasis.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is 100% a migration stopover.
Yeah.
Plus oasis.
I looked it up. It does say like on the side here. It is also called the Melrose Migrant Bird Trap. So it is a birding place. It just I know why they call it bird migrant trap on the map, but it's supposed to be like migrant bird trap. So it is.
Yeah, by the way, there was a farmhouse here, but only the front steps, the chimney, and the stock tank.
No
That's it.
Nazi basement or
No, sadly not.
Yeah.
Nothing there. But this is a chimney.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they put concrete on top? What?
I mean, look at the location, though. I mean, that design style. I mean, when was that farmhouse there? You gotta reckon. How old was the farmhouse? Does it say?
Good question. No. There's apparently just a lot of migratory birds there, but they're cute. They're small ones. Small little goobers. Talking birds.
But I mean, like, look at the location. I mean, this is like south. I mean, this is basically like right along the Mexico border.
Mm.
So I mean, these are probably birds that fly south for the winter, I would guess.
Probably.
If I had to make a guess.
I mean, if they expanded this area with like a bit more, forest stuff, there would probably be more birds here. But still.
I mean, it's an oasis. I mean, it's literally out here. What is this? The Sonora? No, this is the Painted Desert. I can't remember. There's so many freaking deserts down in this part of the country.
Why was there a farmhouse out there?
Maybe
Probably
just a
for
ranch.
ranching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say probably a ranch.
There were a lot
although-
of cattle ranchers. This is what cowboys were, cattle ranchers, and essentially they would migrate their cattle between different ranches in order to make sure that they could graze and feed throughout the year. And my guess is that this might have been a stopover point for travel. So like when you're herding cattle across the desert,
Could be.
you stop at an oasis.
It's a cute
It
little
could just also
oasis,
be
too.
like a newer thing.
Yeah. I mean, looking at that construction, if it had a chimney, and a chimney was this big, too, you gotta like, I wonder, I bet we can, if you go to satellite, I bet we can see the imprint of the house still there. If the satellite on this area is any good, I bet we can see it.
It's not that big. It's probably just roughly until here. Like, as you can see, the foundations. It's right there. It's not a big one. It could definitely be that this was just a.
Yeah.
The
so
satellite
the-
image is not very good.
Yeah, these photos are from 2021. On that site, it said like there was a lightning strike in 2011, and then they started the cleanup operations in 2020. So that's why there's still in these photos there's still a lot of like fallen trees and some burned trees, but they have been removing those. It is like a stopover for migratory birds.
Well, interesting
And
stuff
like
you find here.
275 species recognized over the past 30 years or something. So it's an important bird watching spot.
Well, if you look again, go look at this satellite view. I really want to impress upon you like how barren this area is. Like, this has got to be the only trees in this area for miles, miles and miles.
How do I get back?
The X on the top right.
Oh,
I'll take you out of Street View.
yeah, okay, yeah, I just realized, oh wait, there's a little bit of green over here at Fort Sumner, but, yeah. That is probably not really...
Yeah, look at the satellite view.
Yeah, the satellite view will really drive.
Where's
home
satellite
how-
view again? Oh, here.
Bottom right.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they have an oasis here, which is like just this one natural thing, but like
Bottom left.
there's some farms. There's some farm stuff here. It's still like,
If you go to the bottom
how
left,
the
you can
fuck
see
do
the-
you? Why do so many people farm in the goddamn desert? Oh, Taiwan.
Yeah. But look at that. Look how. So I've been to Fort Sumner before. I think you might have popped into a stream of mine while I was chasing tornadoes down
Could
Fort
be.
Sumner. I didn't catch anything that day, but damn, like just freaking absolute. So I've driven by that migratory bird location. Then I've been in this area.
Do some bird watching.
Yeah, I mean, storm chasing is basically just bird watching, but slightly higher stakes.
Fair point.
Yeah, It's a freaking desert. So anyways, that's more, so I pulled a PDS tornado sounding from this location. So PDS tornado, big deal. That's not really a better place to get a tornado. If you get one here, you can see it coming for miles, and miles and miles and miles. A lot of good locations. I think the only thing that makes me nervous is my car will get sandblasted here. Look at that. Look at all the friggin' sand there. It's all grit. I got good internet connection out there, though.
I mean, there's
that's what I
nothing to
always told
really
this, like,
prohibit the connection, but yeah. I can definitely see that the sand is doing some stuff there. Oh yeah, by the way, how's it about your car? And it got it better? I saw that some stuff happened.
Oh yeah. So what happened a couple weeks ago? A couple weeks ago. Well, no. The end of the story is I ended up getting a new car. So I love the new car. It's great. But yeah, it's just you don't want to have to like. So okay. So the good news is I had an emergency rainy day fund, and my emergency rainy day fund came in handy. I can't tank another emergency rainy day fund, but fortunately, my car is like very, very well insured. I upped my car insurance on my car, so like if that thing gets a scratch, I get a new car if I need.
Oh wow!
Completely covered. So like my car, like, cause it's my only vehicle. I'm gonna be storm chasing it. I need to make sure it has like top of the line coverage, because it's worth it to spend the extra money every month to make sure that I can replace it if I need to. So yeah, the car's covered. I just now that my rainy day fund is expended, like my my emergency money, I gotta rebuild. We gotta rebuild that stockpile. But that was what it was for. Don't like that I had to spend that much money, but that's literally what the bike was for. But I got myself a nice Chevy Malibu, and it's not like a 10-year-old car that has stick shift. It's like a modern car that has an app. It's got like an app I can like start my car remotely. And like check the tire pressure.
Fancy.
So it's like
I don't like I've got the same thing on my car. I don't like it because it has to run through OnStar.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Interesting.
I found out that
I mean, I just
found out that you can apparently root this. Like, because it's Android, so apparently you can root this thing. I'm thinking about doing it, but I would maybe download a car. I maybe might download a car. So, yeah, I might. I don't know. I might root my car. It'd be kind of funny, because then I could like, I don't know. I could install shit on it. I can install my radar software on my dashboard. That would be very nice to have my radar there.
No, yeah.
Well,
that would be cool.
But the other thing that
by the way, what actually happened there? I couldn't really pass that. I just saw you had a problem there.
So, I stayed in Gothenburg, Nebraska overnight. And I got up in the morning. I start my car. And just vroom! It's like, oh no. So I look under my car, and sure enough, somebody had just rolled under my car and just stole my catalytic converter. I was like, motherfucker, Gothenburg, and literally, like, I had just downgraded, just because, to reduce my monthly costs, I had just downgraded my car insurance, and, like, just theft wasn't covered. Like, I had, like, big collision, but, like, theft wasn't covered. I just paid off the car. I literally just paid it off. Like, I was literally debt-free for, like, a whole week. I just paid it off. I was like, theft, like, whatever. It's an older car, but, it's fine. Like, what are you gonna do? So, like, that wasn't covered. I called them. They're like, we're not gonna cover this. It's like, you kidding me? Why aren't you gonna cover this? So it's like, you gotta take this out of your policy. It's like, it was because the policy had just renewed too. Because like I literally just paid. So like the month, it wasn't like I had paid through the end of the month. The month had like ended like 2 days before, and I was then like on the next month. So that policy had ended and I was on the next one. So it was just like I hit that cutoff and I was fighting with them. And I was like, okay, fine. So fortunately, you're in Gothenburg, Nebraska, and so it's like, fuck. Well, what can I do? So like I called so I had AAA. It's like, okay, well if I get stranded in another state, I can get AAA. There's the nearest car rental place, fucking North Platte. That's 100 miles away, and the other nearest car rental place was in Lincoln, Nebraska, also 100 miles away. Just like, you shitting me? Where's the other nearest place? So it's Manhattan, Kansas. Oh no. Okay, so like yeah, Gothenburg, very remote, very like middle of nowhere. Like so I couldn't get like a rental vehicle, and I couldn't get my vehicle towed. And it's just like, oh shit, what do I do? I'm literally stranded in the middle of fucking nowhere. Turns out Gothenburg is the only place that has a car dealership in like that part of like central Nebraska and central Kansas. So it's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just break into the rainy day fund. I'm gonna see what money I can get for just selling my car to a junkyard, and I'm just gonna buy a new fucking car. And that's what I did. I ended up just getting a trade-in on my car. I was like, hey guys, this doesn't have a catalytic converter in it.
It's because someone stole. You know what? It would be very funny if someone from that junkyard actually stole it and they just put it in back and have a car.
I guarantee you that guy that bought my car off me probably just put that catalytic converter right back in it. It's probably what happened. Although it sounds like what actually happened is people just drive down the interstate and just steal catalytic converters out from under cars and just keep driving. Like, you can just make a killing just driving up and down the interstate stealing catalytic.
Yeah, apparently that's a big problem in Oklahoma, from what I heard too.
I mean, I can see that because this really sounds like, oh yeah, there's nothing. So just roll up to the few things in the nothing and just steal shit and drive off into the nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like, talk to the cops, and it's like, oh yeah, you can't do anything about this here. Like the motel I was at didn't have a security camera up there. It was like, why would you not have it? You're a motel. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Okay,
Doesn't
yeah,
matter. Like, this is all just like a super frustrating experience, but it's like, okay, I'm determined to get a tornado this day, so it's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat the cost. I need a new car, I need something that's lasts me longer, so I bought a Chevy Malibu. It's a very nice car. I like that car. I literally rolled it off the lot, called my car insurance. It's like, I need you guys to insure this thing immediately. And I immediately drove it straight to a tornado. Like, literally took that thing off the lot took that thing straight off the lot 4 hours later inside the primary circulation of a 3-rated tornado. So,
Oh, great. Yeah.
Your insurance company is watching this stream like, we should reevaluate things.
You know,
if you're a storm chaser, you get to use your insurance once. So,
yeah. I feel like a Chinese company should also have like a category of best story behind it, because you would win that. You know, no one else could say, yeah, I had to someone stole shit from my car, so I had to just sell it to a scrapyard, buy a new one, and I instantly drove into another tornado.
yeah, well, that's the kind of thing, though. Is it's like I literally drove that car off the lot into a tornado. I took that fairly new car straight off the line into a tornado. Like, literally the day I bought it. Because the funny thing is, like, because I still have so I probably got this on video. I definitely got this on stream. You can hear one of the guys on stream like saying, because I parked out in front of that supercell. You can hear one of those other storm chasers being like, "Hey man, you sure you want to take that new car? It's about to hail." They didn't realize that I was a storm chaser. Like, it's about to hail because they saw there was, because I mean, it's a nice car. It's a really nice car. It's got hail dents all over it now, but but like,
it builds character. Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds character to the.
I mean,
there's a myth about that. Like, the car gets more aerodynamic if it has more like, cause that's why golf balls have all those little like ridges on them.
Oh, the little dimples. Yeah.
So like my car's, I'm just making my car more aerodynamic.
You're improving your MPG.
Yeah. They tested that on
so
Mythbusters. It actually worked.
Yeah, I got hit with baseball-sized fucking hail. Like, those were some like 4-inch hailstones. Fucking. So, anyways, my car. And then I also got got a little bit of damage on my siding because a fucking cop passed somebody going too close and didn't see me in the other lane, so I had to swerve to avoid that fucking cop. I got that on video. The insurance, my deductible is $1,000 on this, so I have to pay for that out of pocket. And it's like, all right, well, I guess I'm.
Yeah.
So
what a story.
I'm just not going to deal with this.
I mean,
so yeah, I'm trying to raise money to get people to help, because a cop literally ran me off the road and I have to pay for it. So it's kind of annoying because I even have the video of that stupid and that cop was literally like, okay, it's just a stupid thing because it's just like a cop literally passed somebody like in a no passing zone. With their lights going, and like past the and for me, I had to swerve to avoid them, and I collided with an object, and did like basically the quote I got in it was like just shy of $1,000, like $900. It was like, well, shit. So I'm trying to raise money on my YouTube channel to just get people to pay for my car repairs because like a cop literally ran me off the road, and like I called the Omaha Police Department. It's like, yo, buddy, I got video of you like running me off the road. You guys want to do something about this? It's like, yeah, submit it to like our, public complaints department. We'll get you compensated. Though they won't compensate me. They're like, well, we think that you were the one who drove out of the way of the cop. You didn't have to do that. Or what? I was gonna run you to the front side. Fuck the police, man. I just, So, anyways, my new car is great. It works fine. That's just a little bit of superficial damage. It's just replacing any like.
Are we gonna say ACAT? All cops are traffic offenders, or what is the? Fuck! I wanted to say something against Epstein. I fucked this up. By the way, here's some bird photos of the migratory bird trap.
Hell yeah!
If you want
birds.
to see some, yes, hell yeah, birds. Birds are amazing, especially the small ones. Like, you know what? Sometimes we, especially when it's spring or summer, we look outside and it's like there are tits out there, like blue tits and black tits, and like, hell yeah, tits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing.
There's one of them out here. They're cute.
Yes, they're small balls.
Yeah.
It's just cute.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, the cops, it wasn't the tornado that did the damage to my brand new car. I mean, it was that did all the hail damage. I don't care about the tornado damage. It was the Omaha Police Department that like ran me off the road. To be fair, they were like driving to go like help victims of a recent tornado, so like it kind of got to let them off the hook for this.
I get it.
Did they need to pass that guy illegally? Like the real person who's really to blame here is the person that he passed illegally should have pulled over. Like if you see somebody blaring their sirens at you behind you, you pull off to the right side of the road. Like you assume that you're getting pulled over. I don't know why that. I think that what happened was that guy that was like, that cop swerved to get around. Maybe didn't realize the cop was behind him, or was transfixed by the fucking tornado in front of him. Like I don't know, but like whatever it was, like that didn't.
You know what?
Anyways,
Still look at the fucking road. It's like number one you learn in driving school. Is driving school a requirement in that state?
Yeah, it's a requirement in all states.
Okay.
Also,
what do you need to do in driving school?
That guy shouldn't have passed that guy if he couldn't see if there was another person in that lane. Like, you don't pass somebody if you can't see if there's somebody in that lane. Like, he was tailgating that guy so close that he couldn't see if he had a clear lane to pass. Like, he forced me to swerve.
Just question. What is the requirement for driving school?
It's like
it depends on the state, but usually it's like a certain amount of hours practicing under a learner's permit, in which the learner's permit is usually another like you have to pass a test for it. You have to and then you have to have like essentially someone who has a license and is not I think someone who is you have to have someone who's probably your parent sign off on hours, so like they're basically validating at the cost of their like at the not the cost or reliability, but the on the status of their license. So like if they falsely report your driving status and you cause a problem, that's on them. So there's some pretty strict rules regarding it. They do allow you to get into it pretty easily, but it's like you still have to go through the work.
Yeah,
because getting a license here okay, here's the thing, I shouldn't leave myself too much out of the window because like I got it first try and I know like a lot of people didn't. I know someone at my in my class had like 5 tries and I'm saying like, girl, at this point just don't drive, please. Just like there are trains, at least here.
I wish driving school was harder here.
Yeah, okay.
They'll just give that shit to anybody.
You want an overview what I had to go through to get my license? I still have it, thank God. So first of all, you have to you can only start doing it when you're 16 years old. Like then you go to driving school. You have to take at least 12 theoretical classes, okay? And those are mandatory. And then you have to do a theoretical test. If you fail that test, go back and redo all the classes. So I fucking studied for that thing and got it. Then you're allowed to get driving lessons, meaning basically a driving instructor has a specially built car. Like they literally have to have a car with, they have pedals on their own on their own side to just accelerate and brake on your behalf, so they can just slam the brakes if you're not doing it. So they're like specially modified cars, basically. Then they're like, okay, train the basics, and if they decide, okay, you can do it well, you have to have at least a minimum of 5 driving lessons, and then you need to work off the minimum required amount of stuff. Like there needs to be 1 overland drive, so a really long distance drive. You have to have 2 long distance drives, 1 night drive, and a couple of other hours that you have to do with specific stuff. Well, let me just really quickly check before I say something wrong.
Man, that's a lot of requirements.
Yeah, you need at least 30 hours of driving. 5 overland, 4 on the Autobahn, and 3 at night. Huh. So yeah, so yeah, for B, you need 1 on the 1 night, 1 for the Autobahn, and 3 overland, so long distance ones. So it's just driving not on the Autobahn, but just long distance on regular roads and stuff. That's for the B class. So because we have multiple classes, so you can technically make one that is, for example, that you can only just drive a scooter or so. But and you can make that one actually earlier. For example, I think a scooter you can actually drive with 16 already, because they're not really that expensive and shit. But yeah, getting a car like a B class is definitely means you need to get a license for that. And also that license only allows you to drive certain types of cars, so normal types of cars and maybe SUVs, and you can only use and scooters. If you want to drive a motorcycle, you need to make an extra you need to do an extra license to drive that.
License, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also for carriages put onto cars, you can only basically use small ones with the basic one. If you want to use a bigger thing to put on your car in the back, you actually need another special license.
Yeah, same thing here. So I just looked it up. In DC, at 16 years of age, you need to pass a knowledge and vision test. You need to have proof of identity and stuff like that. You need parental consent, and you need to have 40 hours of supervised driving with a licensed driver.
Yeah, it's
then, after that's done, you can get your provisional license until you're, which you have to have for at least 6 months. For that license, so you need a learner's permit for 6 months in order to get your provisional. You also need to have another approved signed certification of 40 hours of provisional license driving. And you have to pass a road skills test for that provisional license. And during that stage with the provisional license, you're allowed to drive alone with one passenger who is 21 or older, or with any sibling or parent. You're not allowed to drive with your friends or your classmates or people who are young and might distract you. And then for your full license, you have to be 18, at least 18. You need to have had a provisional license for about 6 months, but it's a bit different. They also scrap that if you're 25 and you haven't had a license at all. you can just go straight from learner's permit to full license. And then they change it so that with the full license, you can now drive at night. You don't have to have another person there. You can just do whatever. But that's for just regular vehicles. That's everything from small cars to SUVs, and you can use trailers. It's everything like a small trailer, like something that would carry some garbage or something. And then that is up to any vehicle up to, I think it's 10 tons or more than 2 axles or more than 14 passengers. So that's you don't need a commercial driver's license in order to drive, say, like a Sprinter van that can seat 14 people, including the driver. But anything that fits those categories or more than those requires a commercial driver's license, which is pretty challenging to get. Like, you need to do a lot of the similar stuff, but higher difficulty. And then there's the motorcycle license, which is for everything that is above, I think it's like I forget how many cc's it is, but above a certain level of two-wheel vehicle stuff.
Well, I mean, at least here, it's, by the way, you're not allowed to go over 750 kilograms on the on the extra part. But, by the way, that actually includes the weight of the thing. Yeah.
The weight of one thing.
Of the that you put onto on the back on the vehicle.
Oh,
that you can the trailer. The trailer is not allowed to. It actually counted into the 750. So yeah. Otherwise,
probably counts into that too here, but I don't I haven't read the details because I haven't looked into it.
But yeah, basically, you then do the required amount, then you do your physical test, and yeah, if you fail it, back to doing the thing again. Have fun, and if you manage to do that, and shocking amount of people just don't get that. Again, someone in my class got it on the 5th try. Best friend back from school, he got it on the 3rd try. I'm still shocked I managed to get it on the 1st. Like, I wasn't the only person tested that day, but I was the only one passing that day. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a pretty good driving instructor, actually. Like, he basically was like, hey, watch out. That shit over there, like, they like to test that. That's a trap. So yeah. But basically what then happens is, if you're 17, you're not allowed to drive alone. You actually have to drive with someone with someone above 30 years old, so they can't be young. They have to be 30 years old, have to have a legal license for at least 5 years, and are non-intoxicated, by the way. And then you can drive. So yeah, I was. What?
I think the big difference here is the average distance that drivers go per drive is probably higher here, so that's why they probably don't have some of those restrictions for like the long distance drive and
it depends. Like, we have where we did that, it's very rural. Like, that's like actually the rural area of Germany. Like, so it was basically required that it was kind of like, yeah, you should have a driver's license. But yeah, I mean, I drove like a bunch of stuff with my dad back in the day because, well, he was like, get practice, and apparently it paid off. So yeah, so that's that. Well, it was a good time, actually. Like, he had basically he got landed an old Golf 2, like a red Golf 2, and so I drove a long time. I drove a Golf 2, and great car, actually. What? Oh. So yeah, I like that one. I really like small cars. Like, that's the thing. I really hate the fact that on a personal level, like, SUVs suck, but also just I despise them because small cars are amazing to drive, and the bigger they get, the more I dislike them.
SUVs are for, like, farmers. Basically.
Yeah, like if you
If
have a
at all,
construction
and they're-
company or
And
farmer.
they're comparatively worse to most pickup trucks.
Yeah. Yeah. And also just, I hate big cars. Like, small cars are amazing to drive. Big cars, they just suck to drive. I'm sorry. They just... And I drove big cars, like... That's not the thing. Like, my family had some, I think, sedans. Like, they had a Skoda Octavia, and, like, the long one... I literally called it the battleship because you had to look over that front, and it was like... And I'm tall. I didn't have the biggest problem looking over that, front. But, like, I know my mom had and my sister had, and it's like, yeah. I know my dad is driving...
My car is like a mid-sized SUV, but it's got a low front and low hood.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more visibility in front, and it's not very, like, bulky feeling, so it's not a challenge to drive. But I do actually need the size because I sometimes transport the dogs in it, and I sometimes have to do trips. And there may be times where in the future we'll have to go do trips and pick up stuff from, like, a hardware store and fit, like, big stuff in there.
Yeah, it's actually pretty... It's actually kind of an interesting thing because, like, some of the cars, like... I mean, my dad now has, like, a Volvo, and it's a good car, but also big, and, like, just sometimes a bit better designed to a degree to watch. But, like, small cars, they just run so much better. I like them. I'm very much a small car truther. Like, I'm sorry. They just look better.
No, I understand. I'm more of a mid-sized car person than an SUV or small car person. Like, hatchbacks are more my style. It's just a matter of convenience.
Like, anything that gets really good fuel economy. Like, I really, my favorite car that I've ever driven was a Hyundai Ioniq.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a good car. Such a good car.
Oh yeah, I've driven the Ioniq.
My favorite
it's
car.
Such a good car.
I love it.
Yeah.
I wish, like, I drove the, what was it, the 5 and then the 7, whatever that new one was. Man,
The Ioniq 5.
the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Is the hatchback. Yeah.
Yeah, the new one, like, it's like the really good, like, economy.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a fucking good car. I wish I could afford one. Like, I wish I could afford that car.
Yeah.
Because it was a nice ride. Like, never had to put gas in it. Like, it just was great. Really great hybrid. Like, that's how you do it.
Isn't the 5 a full EV?
No, it wasn't a full EV. Like, it was, because I drove
Or was it a
for my
hybrid?
medical career. Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid.
Okay.
It was one
I
of those ones
remember
where you,
looking at it because of that, but I couldn't remember if it was full or not.
Yeah, it's such a good, like, I really liked it. It's such a good car. It drove smoothly. Like, just, you put, like, it would be such a good storm chasing car. Because, like, man, every time I'm out there, there's a storm chaser based out of Colorado Springs. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. I live in Colorado Springs now. Well, I did tell you, but everything here is made out of airplanes. I don't know if you guys knew that, but everything in Colorado Springs is made of airplanes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But everything here is also made out of Christian fundamentalism too, which is nice.
Yeah, okay, fair point. I mean, that's there's like there's a few cars from, like, especially the smaller ones. Like, I like the Golf. The Golf is just like it's just perfect. It's small. It fits. But, like, when it comes to smaller cars, like what I really would like to drive, like, they're a bit fast, bigger, but, like, I think this is probably also the thing where I'm like, I like older cars more than newer ones because newer ones just sometimes they're just really shit for the performance versus, gas they fit, so generally I think, if car electric, but, like, if not electric, old stuff is just better, and, like, I would absolutely...
Mine has
can I say?
range... Yeah, go on.
I would fucking love to drive an Audi Quattro at some point.
Oh, yeah. If there's one brand that has like a good And like semi-luxury sports cars, it's Audi.
I mean, yeah, Audi, Audi R1 and A3, like, I mean, I've been in a tuned Audi if I think A3 was it. They're really good. Yeah, a friend from school, he's kind of a tuner, so he had like, he tuned his Samsung only, but like, no, the Quattro especially because, you know the history of the Quattro, how that thing came to be?
I forget
After the
it.
test, I'm assuming.
What?
After the test, I'm assuming.
You beat me to that joke.
Okay, god damn it. Yeah, I realized. I'm a bit dense at getting jokes.
Also, yeah, like small cars, so we all together are like a Messerschmitt cabine roller for her birthday.
I mean, yeah, the Quattro was a thing they built for Group B, for rally. If that tells you anything.
I know what rally is.
Okay, so the thing is that, the thing about rally is basically, they had like a bunch of just groups in how they were categorized and what can drive it. Because rally is basically point A to point B racing, okay? And with the World Rally, the WRC, they basically had this thing that it just got a bit complicated because the thing about rally cars is that you actually had to go and basically, you have to actually have a commercial car, okay? So that's a big thing. You actually have to have a commercial car to actually, like, instead of everything else. It has to be a commercial car, and it has to have at least it has to have a minimum production of 2,500 units. Okay. And they just have a certain amount of rules in place what you need to do to make cars there. So, like, a lot of rally cars actually are on the we're actually on the actually on the market, and a lot of current safety features, for example, with like driving assist and stuff like that actually came from rally, because you kind of need to have that, like ABS, for example. That shit is actually that's actually a how's it called, a rally thing. So yeah. Okay, the thing is though, and like the big one, is the fact that Group B was kind of insane. Like, basically, what happened is that they kind of tried to, condense all the requirements, because a lot of companies didn't want to tackle rally anymore, okay? It was just like, oh, why should we make like, specific cars for that? Specific cars that we have to produce and sell and shit, and it's just a lot of requirements. So they had this idea of making Group B. This was in 1982, okay. And the thing about them was that they basically just threw the requirements out of the window. They basically were like, you just have to produce 200 street legal cars, and if you make an upgrade, just 20 more. So what happened is that basically the makers of cars went fucking wild with it. Like, imagine you basically have to just go from point A to point B as fast as possible, and you basically have a blanco check on how the fuck you're going to build a car like that. So they built a lot of really insane shit there. Yeah. And
NASCAR used to be like that, but then they got into specialized vehicles.
I guess, but that doesn't surprise me. I mean, it makes sense that shit specializes at some point, but like, yeah, actually the, how's it called? the manufacturers really did a lot of weird shit with it. Like there are some very very known ones. Like for example, Lancia was like really good at driving. At making rally cars. Like for example,
Audi.
Basically the
VW.
big one. Yeah, the big ones were basically Lancia. They made the Lancia ones were like really strong stuff, and they
Well, they kept winning for a number of years up until I think it was Audi that dethroned
that's a reason why the Audi Quattro came in, because basically up until that point everyone was like, 4-wheel driving, it's not worth it, and it's also just a hassle. No one could figure out, and Audi just figured out how to make 4-wheel driving commercial. They put the Quattro on the road and whoop, fucking won those things. And
Subaru was there too.
Subaru was basically at their high time
they
later.
were along for the ride. They weren't doing too much. They were doing stuff, but they weren't like taking the.
Not in the 80s, but
anything.
yeah. Not in the 80s, at least. But they did some really absurd shit. Actually, like, for example, I think Renault actually made a car where that looks like a normal car. But like the engine block is actually in the center of the car, just so that the mass is just better weighted out. So
what is that? A Hummer?
No, it's like they're actually really small and.
No.
What?
Oh no, I was making a joke about it because Hummer does the same thing with some of their cars. Specifically, I think they're military ones. I forget which ones exactly. But yeah, they basically put their engines in the middle of some of their cars.
Yeah.
Some of them.
That is just like a few things, like, and also the drivers were they were insane, just like factually insane. Like imagine if you go and just be like, oh yeah, the best one in the whole rally thing. Yeah, he basically drives like a whole fucking basically really light car tuned to the fucking max, and he insists on driving with one hand because he keeps his other hand on the gear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I thought he did. No, never mind.
Yep, he drives with one hand and just keeps using gear. The other one to just switch gears, and he just keeps doing that. And like, yeah, they also probably had like the best female race car driver ever in Group B, because she was also. They were all insane. Like the thing about Group B was, and this is why it stopped being a thing, is basically, imagine you have these classic rally things, and then you suddenly have. You gave the car manufacturers a blanco check to build the wildest cars. You have insane drivers, and so everyone's like, wow, that's amazing. You know what the problem is with rally?
Too expensive?
No.
Really hard on the cars?
No.
Yes, I don't know.
Rally is popular, and people really like to stand near the cars on the track. And the problem is, Group B was insanely popular in the 80s. Like, this right here is a picture of a Group B event.
Victims of their own success.
Yeah, like, if you look at some of the Group B shit, you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? Because, basically, this is another photo of Group B, by the way. Look at how many people there are. So, basically, people were driving at super high speeds, at, not normal roads. There are huge masses of people on both sides, and they somehow fucking manage to still go through the road. Oh yeah, and they constantly found fingers and hair in the exhaust stuff, because people just wanted to be on the road to make the perfect photo. Group B is insanity. And the thing is just, they basically had a downfall because too many accidents happened.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you have like a giant, if you have like, a race, like that, and a lot of them, for example, didn't even know when someone crashed. Like a lot of times, crashes were reported by the other rally driver, behind them, passing the section, seeing, oh well, there's something burning, and just saying it after they did their lap. And then
Also
rescue
with
teams
the,
were sent.
With the length of the courses, it's so difficult to like properly police the lines of the course.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can like they could like put police station officers or security on like every corner or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was literally, and there's another side of this where the sport was kind of blue collar, especially in comparison to a lot of other racing sports, where some snobism occurred and kind of like tried to shut down rally racing.
That was not really the problem there.
It wasn't a big problem, but it was an issue that they had. Not that it really affected them much.
And like the thing is more like how should I say? The big problem they had was the fact that people kept dying and the drivers kept dying, and like people were just like fuck this shit actually. What literally happened at, I think it was Rally in Corsica, basically someone died horribly, and the FIA, which is overseeing the WRC, basically didn't tell the drivers that something horrible happened. Like a lot of people died, children died. So after they finished that segment and learned about that, the drivers literally went on strike. They literally were like, fuck this shit. We are not done. We're not going to do anything more until, this is fixed. And, they just lost drivers because they were just like, yeah, I'm not suicidal. I mean, driving rally, you're a little bit suicidal, but yeah, not that much. And ultimately, Group B was shut down. But still, that Audi Quattro was kind of legendary. I mean, what did you expect, going into race sport and just removing the rules?
Who could have seen this? Who could have seen this coming?
Yeah. So
Almost
basically,
like rules are beneficial to people.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. And by the way, the FIA still tried to sue the drivers and be like, you should, you and the manufacturers should do nothing. You should keep doing the event. And then they were like, no. Are you stupid? So yeah, that's how it ended. And interestingly, there's an interesting thing because later the safety requirements were up because Group B happened, and so a lot of now we have ABS and a lot of street stuff that actually makes driving on streets safer came because Group B was insane, was shut down, and the safety requirements for rally were upped. There's an interesting thing though, because those were really really lightweight cars with aluminum just driving at insane speeds. They wobbled and shit. And the interesting part is you brought up Subaru, after Group B ended, Subaru kind of became legendary because, they built rally cars. And what the funniest bit about them is? Even though there's higher safety requirements and everything, those cars are more powerful. They're safer.
Yeah.
But a Subaru, at the height of Subaru in rally, is stronger than anything from Group B. These things just fly.
I think we've mentioned this before on stream, but Subaru is a cult. But it's also
yes,
it's wonderful.
it's a cult for good.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm out of the cult now.
Oh,
Oh, congrats.
I mean, Subarus are great.
They are good cars. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there's like this one. Oh god, there was this very funny video actually. How's it called? Of like this one hill, like this test hill, and basically, oh yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna put this one up at the video because like it's like a test hill in the USA. And people are there like with his with their pickup trucks and they have problems driving up that hill. So let's just do this one here. There we go. Wait a second. So yeah, basically a hill drive event. You see Sandy Hill, by the way. And yeah, then just the box standard Subaru rolls around. And yeah, everyone had big pickups and everything. The normal Subaru.
Oh, that's a free drive dune area.
Yeah.
They're lightweight, powerful, great torque.
Yep,
yeah.
That's just fucking Subaru. I mean, what do you want anymore? Like, sorry, Subaru.
So I guess now we know which company built the Mako.
Probably.
Oh, hang on, I gotta shut up for a minute, guys.
But yeah, interesting that OBS now decides to just put up the chat all the time.
Who disconnected?
No, I didn't.
No.
Oh, he had to take a call. A birthday
By the way,
in the
I think I need to. Yes.
Yeah, thanks. I think we're probably gonna wrap this one up here soonish.
Yeah,
So.
I'm tired. I'm probably gonna call it for tonight.
Yeah, we talked surprisingly a lot about race cars today.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'll talk to you all later.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Hi.
Got you posting Dr. House jokes. Have you actually watched that series recently?
Recently, no.
Yeah, we are currently on a...
Pretty much all of it.
We're currently on a rewatch and like, holy shit. It's one of those shows where you just keep finding details and you're like, oh, god damn it. Like... Can I spoil a little bit about season 4?
I've watched the whole thing.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're currently at the episode of In-House Mind, and shit, that thing is such a gut punch, and I just realized, oh fuck, we're already done with season 4, goddammit. That thing flew. Like, season 3, you're like, it's a bit of a slog, and the whole cop thing is like... Honestly, I think Vogler and the cop are just kind of bad villains, because they're just... Yeah, the cop is an asshole, and the capitalist is doing capitalist things. They're not really revealing a lot of new things about House, Beef with his ex was more interesting in terms of character portrayal, because, like, it's a show about characters, not about... And also just solving weird cases.
Most good shows are about characters and on the side something.
Yeah, like, Tripper, I think is his name. He just didn't add a lot.
Tritter,
the cop.
Yeah.
He just doesn't add a lot. He's just just an egocentrical asshole and gets off the hook too easy. Like
I think it could have been interesting, but I just it was never enjoyable to watch. It just like I remember the first time there when he was like the season with him in it. It just felt kind of miserable anytime he was on screen, and not in like a way that was fun to watch. It's I don't like you could have made something really good with that concept, but it's just it felt kind of in a way sort of like a straw man. Like in principle, he should have. He was, so sort of good. Like, House does a lot of fucked up shit, and having someone actually like investigate him and go after him and be like,
Yeah,
hey,
but, like-
no, stop that. Like that's good. But then Tritter was just like worse, and it's. Like I said, not even in a fun or interesting way. Like he also said, he was just an asshole.
It's like
it's not. It's not fun.
it's like the thing with Vogler at the beginning is more like hey, kind of planting down that House hates the business side and capitalists because like he legit is a doctor that cares. He's weird. He's cynical. He does a lot of stuff. But like the thing is, he's cynical because he fucking cares about people. Like he literally asks people, "Should I fucking lie to save your life? Do you want to live?" He literally asks someone, "Do you want to live so I can actually do my job?" And that says a lot about House. And it had at least few reveals. And I wish that they did a bit more of that with Vogler. Like, for some reason, do not do that during the 2 seasons with shitty antagonists.
Yeah.
They do it in the other seasons.
I can give them a little bit more of a pass with the Vogler because, like I said, it was season 1.
It was
like,
season 1. Yeah.
And any season 1 will have like a bit more slack. Like with Star Trek as well, the usual thing is like season 1 of any Star Trek show is pretty much always shit, and then around 2 or 3 is when it gets good.
When I find a bit more of the groove, but I think the next generation was actually pretty good from the start.
Yeah, I mean,
and the original show also, but
I can't say I fully agree with it either, but it's sort of the
I mean, they usually get better.
Quote, knowledge in the community. Yeah,
it's more like most shows get better with time when they realize, wait, those are the good angles. Like for example, Wilson in the first season is just kind of preachy and a bit of an ass, and after he gets divorced, House is basically saying, hey. He basically starts, playing some pranks on him, and it's like, hey, start standing up for yourself, because, Wilson lives at his home, and he just starts being a bit of an asshole and steals his food and shit, and Wilson, and basically tells him, listen, Wilson, as long as you live with me, it's just, it's not a divorce, it's just, I was basically, it's just a fight. When you get a lawyer, it's a divorce, and he basically implies he's running away from everything, and the thing is, he pulls that twice, and it's always interesting to see because Wilson basically needs someone because that's the thing, Wilson and House both need each other. House needs someone with empathy like Wilson that actually understands him on a very deep level, and Wilson needs someone to tell him to just fucking do shit and not be like basically just a yes man for everyone. And that's why season 4 hits so hard, because by the way, season 4 starts perfect. It's a tournament arc, so it's just it's the best season just by that. It's a tournament arc. House tries to get new applicants. So the big one in the end is that it boils down to 4. He kind of wants to keep them all, but Kelly says you can only keep 3, and basically he sorts out the 2 girls, Amber and 13, and then Kelly's like, House, you can't just pick the 2 guys. That's sexist. Hire 13 as well. And then she's like, wait a fucking second. So he outplayed her. But the thing is with Amber, she was kind of established as he literally calls her cutthroat bitch. Because Amber backstabs. She's literally ruthless at getting what she wants. The thing is, though, later afterwards, it turns out he's like, wait a second, Wilson, you're different. Are you dating someone? It turns out Wilson's dating Amber. And there's also this very interesting realization, because the thing is, House has seen multiple times how Wilson basically gets destroyed by the forces, because I think, how many relationships did he have at this point? 3? 5 or so? 3, yeah. They all kind of ended up badly because he just bowed down to someone, and so he's like, in the beginning he's just like, wait a fucking second, Amber's dating Wilson? She has to, do this for something, and then it turns out, no. Wilson is just kind of the... the thing is, she tells him why she likes Wilson, and House just gets it, because, it's kind of the same reason he's friends with Wilson. And Wilson loves Amber because there's literally an episode where they buy a new mattress, and Amber tells him, buy the mattress you want. And then she's like, wait, you bought the mattress I found nice. And he's like, yeah, but that's what you wanted for me to do. And she's like, no, go back and buy the mattress you want. And yeah, she's good for him. And House notices that. It's the only time where he, actually signs off on the relationship House has. And he,
Wilson.
yeah, sorry, it's 3 a.m. here. Give me some slack.
I corrected you.
Thank you. Yeah, basically, yeah, he signs off on a relationship that Wilson has, because, yeah, Wilson is actually really chill and fun during that season, because he's just down with a lot of bullshit House does, because, House literally tells him that he did crap, and Wilson's just like, that's evil and amazing, and House like, you're gonna tell everyone, it's like, probably. It's great. Amber dies at the end of the season. And in this 2-parter, they find out that it's happening. And it's a fucking gut punch, because it's not even... It's not even it's just an accident, actually. It destroys House itself, because it's just a dumb chain of events. And the thing is, rewatching that 2-parter, you kind of realize Chase fucked it up.
Unknowingly.
It's one of those details. There are so many details in that show, because, yeah, it's, really well written, and, it's peak TV, and I mean that literally with writing, because, there's so many shows that don't do that, or, just do it once or twice, but, here's the thing. They go through, who was on the... Okay, basically, House was in a bus accident and just has amnesia, and he's just really trying to find out what's going on, because he's like, someone will die and I need to find out who, because to save him. He thinks it's the bus driver, and he finds out the bus driver has something, but it's not the bus driver, because there was another, there's just constantly this one woman in his mind that's coming up, and she's like, what do you think? Who am I? He's like, what is going on here? Because... And they, for example, at the beginning of the episode, they established there is, a few people at Princeton General, and one is a Jane Doe, so, unknown woman.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But here's an interesting part. Basically, I think Taub... No, it was...
Someone suggested...
It was Katna, sorry, was it? Katna basically suggested, hey, House, just use hypnosis. And then basically Chase, who learned hypnosis. And it's, this is a bit unscientific, but, it's for the value of it. Basically, they go back, they're in his mind, and he's like, he thinks back how he's in that one bar, and he's like, because Wilson's also in the room, he's like, Wilson and Amber's there, and they're like, why is Amber here? And Wilson's like, oh, well, you know what, it's just your fucking mind. And then Chase says, how's it called? Let's focus out Wilson and Amber.
Yeah.
And that is the reason he cannot see her. His mind instantly went to, he literally asked me, why is Amber here? Because she was there with him. But because Chase says, don't focus on her, she stops being there, and he just doesn't realize Amber was on the goddamn bus with him. It's it's like one of those details, you rewatch it and you catch it and you're like, oh, fuck. There's always this thing in, a certain, some episodes about, how small things get overlooked and fuck things up. But, this is, you don't even think about it, that Chase saying, let's not focus on Amber. Just, whoops. Chase, you just erased a really important point that you couldn't possibly knew was important. Because no one expected Amber to be there. Because, yeah, everyone was like, who would actually be there with House, except Wilson? And the answer is ironically fucking Amber, because turns out they both had a pretty good understanding of each other. That was established. When you see the chain of things that happened, you're like, yeah, that makes sense, and it makes complete sense why House is so fucking down that it happened. And yeah, goddammit, season 4 is just it just ends in the biggest gut punch, and yeah, goddammit. Talking about Dr. House on this long ass yapping stream. God.
On the subject of TV, like I watched Three Body Problem recently.
Oh yeah, we actually finished that today. Agonia actually read the books.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, oh yeah, I want to see how the show is. And apparently pretty good adaptation of the first book. With just, there's some stuff cut out. Like, for example, I guess we can spoiler shit here a bit.
Yeah, I read the synopsis on Wikipedia.
Yeah, basically, for example, at that one Chinese, station.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, what?
Red Coast.
Red Coast, yeah. The scientist, like, the scientist that stole her idea, the idea of the of Ye.
Mm-hmm.
She actually comes back to that cliff because she throws him off there. She actually killed a guy there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing they cut out, apparently. According to Agonia. She could just lie to me, but I don't think she's doing that.
Baby.
Yeah, and
just from the synopsis, there were a few things that they left out or changed.
I don't really think they
But for the better.
What?
But for the better.
Yeah, like at least as a TV show, it flows really well.
Yeah.
And like,
that's just one of the things also, like in the, it's just Wikipedia, but like in the reception thing, it like said that the author also liked the show and like the changes. The only thing he sort of had commentary on was like all the important characters were already being friends, which wasn't something in the original novel, and that's something he was a bit more ambivalent about. But I think it does work as a show, and I'm looking forward to the other season.
Yeah.
I think like that's like what I said earlier, that I was kind of in a sort of a weird mood earlier tonight. I think part of that was that I had the scene with the ship sort of playing in my mind. I was like, and that's like having while just listening to music on on YouTube repeatedly, and that sort of, I think that that sort of does it. That was a really good scene.
I mean, I don't lie. Like, the episodes kind of made me pretty depressed. It got better with time, but like it was like we watched it in the evening because Agonia wanted to go to bed, and so we were like, and then I was just like, hey, just let me do like one more round of like Delta Force or something, just so my mind is more filled with I did some shitty bang bang instead of just whoops, here comes the depressor.
Yeah.
Hey,
I have one.
That was it. Yeah.
Congratulations. Agonia is playing OpenFront IO since a while, and she won just for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like that scene, that was really good. Like that was very wonderful. That was truly harrowing. That was that was really fun.
I mean, it is more fiction than science, even though it shows itself like science. But like, I mean, there is this very certain depressing undertone because, like, I mean, the thing about it is just like, okay, the setup is the setup is amazing, and I know that to the end it definitely went a bit more into the whole, the indomitable human spirit. But like, the fact that the early antagonist is like, I mean, it's a misanthropic doomsday cult.
Yeah,
and that hits hard because, like, to a degree, you understand shit, but also you just hate it because, like, yeah, you went through shit. I get that. And I get that you are probably not really happy about it because, okay, for everyone to know the basic setup of the story, it starts in the 1960s in China, Cultural Revolution time. And basically, one of the characters sees her dad, a physicist, getting beaten to death because, he doesn't want to budge from the fact that the theory of relativity is just part of physics. Which is like, yeah, that shit happened.
Yeah.
And, then she gets sent through certain labor camps and has to witness how, like, in Mongolia, a whole forest just getting, just cut down. And, they literally talk about how one tree saw the Ming emperors and now it's gone. And, and she just constantly gets backstabbed by people. Like, someone is like, oh, hey, I have this one book, about preserving nature and such, and, an English book, but, like, she have to hide it. But the moment someone finds it, he just says nothing and backstabs her. And,
Yeah.
I get it, and the thing is, then she gets recruited into, like, the Red Coast program, which is basically... as a station she saw all the time on a mountain, and it's about, trying to make contact with alien beings. And the thing is, she kind of has a realization at some point that, if you aim at the sun actually, strengthens your signal. Which then the guy she talked about it, which she thought, oh, hey, he's nice, he's a friend, fucking just posted it as his idea. And, in the book, she kills him for that.
Not for that, different thing, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was the one she killed.
It's just, she gets constantly backstabbed, but the thing that she then is, what happened is that a few years later, she actually gets a message. And that message, in Chinese, basically spelled out, do not answer. I am a pacifist of my folk.
My world.
Of my world. Do not answer. If you do, they will come and conquer you.
We will.
We will conquer you. Do not answer. So, yeah. It's quite a stark warning because, usually you don't get a sign, a message called do not answer, as in, like, shut the fuck up, duck down, do not do stupid things. And the thing is...
do not interact. The aliens are just on Tumblr.
Yeah. And then the thing is, she actually answers them with the message, we cannot save ourselves, come and conquer us. And, yeah.
And I will help you conquer the planet.
Yeah. No, I mean, at least in the show, she just says, conquer us, we cannot help ourselves. Because she thinks humanity is doomed and cannot do shit.
No, she does say we cannot save ourselves. I will help you conquer the planet. But she does say that in the show as well.
Yeah. Okay. And the thing is, that basically just leads us to current day because a bunch of scientists just do suicide, and there's like a weird countdown, and also the how's it called? All the particle accelerators just stopped working, and everyone's it's weirded out. And just to go fast forward, basically, some people get like a headset or so. I don't know what it was in the books.
It was also a headset.
It was also a headset. Okay.
It wasn't described very well, but yeah.
Yeah. Basically, and then it turns out it's just very realistic, and some of the main protagonists, play it, and they start figuring out that it's about a civilization on a planet in a system with 3 suns. This is why it's called the 3-body problem, because if you are in a system with 3 suns, you cannot predict with normal physics what the fuck is going to happen. It's just
not in the long run.
Not in the long run.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
can't.
that's like a genuine like mathematical problem.
Yeah, it's a
But
genuine
actually,
mathematical problem.
Yeah, I just today saw that there's apparently been a discovery that there are like islands of stability in the three-body problem. But like, yeah, that's just saw the headline passing by. But yeah,
Oh, whoops.
there's no long-term predictability in general.
Yeah, 'cause, you know what? It's kind of funny about the whole islands of stability because that really lets the Tree Solarians look pretty stupid with their technology in hindsight.
Well, again, it depends. Maybe they are just in they are in a part of the three-body problem that isn't stable, or these islands of stability. You know, they're long enough for one of their civilizations to rise, but then it falls again. So maybe that's just it. Like it doesn't. It sort of alters the premise, but it doesn't immediately invalidate it.
Yeah, it's just like they also say like they had to kind of predict when is a stable era, when not, until they realized there will never be a stable era. Their planet will at some point probably be either flung out of the system or ripped apart, aka they just end. So the moment they heard, wait, there is a stable planet. Yeah, fucking, let's build 1,000 ships, load them up with people, and send them there, because they just basically the whole civilization is just about survival.
Kind of has to.
It has to, you know, they literally can dehydrate. They're they can just dehydrate and rehydrate. That's what they're doing all the time, and they literally build computers out of themselves because they just had to. That's a fascinating concept, and yeah, the thing is just that then slowly gets revealed because there's a cult that says they're the Lord and they communicate with each other, and basically they kind of have a bad realization about the humans because the guy communicating with them is an idiot. Let's just say it as it is. And he keeps reading them fairy tales because to understand the humans better, and then they just realize, wait, humans lie and backstab, which is utterly alien to them because if you're a society just focused on survival, you can't, they don't really line by culture, and they're just
and they said that we don't know exactly how, but they say that when they communicate, just all the information is sort of transferred, so they literally
telepathically.
Not telepathically.
Yeah.
They do it at least according to the authorized fan fiction. They basically communicate through light. And they cannot really hide their thoughts because that's how they express everything basically if they communicate something.
Okay.
Yeah. They're literally incapable of lying to it.
They can technically do lies of omission, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So it's it's an interesting premise, but basically what happens is that then but then humans realize, okay, it's kind of also revealed to them because that the Tree Solarians, or Santi, how they call them, have sent two things called sophons to Earth, and they arrived a bit ago because they need 400 years to arrive. They cannot travel. They can travel fast, but they still travel sub-light speed.
Yeah, 1% light speed.
Yeah, 1% light speed. Yeah. And the thing is,
4 light years away.
Mm-hmm. So 400 years.
Yeah. So what happens is basically, what they basically reveal is the sophons are, and this is why it's basically more fiction. They took a proton, an atom, and deflated it.
Particle.
Yes, and deflated its dimensions. So, that it just was way bigger than it actually is, into a higher dimensional sphere. And then fucking encoded a supercomputer onto it, so it, has an actual thinking AI. And they made 4 of those. And 2 are quantum entangled. 2 they kept, and the entangled ones they sent to Earth. So, quantum entanglement, they're always doing the same thing.
Yeah. Information
is shared.
Yeah, the real-time communication.
And that is basically how they manage to fuck up all the signs, and basically they what they do in a show of force, they just cover the sky and put like a giant eye on it and put onto every monitor on the planet. They put the words "You are bugs."
Well, after they learned fascist rhetoric from...
they kind of learned fascist rhetoric from an oil mogul.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, basically, their whole thing is that they wanted... Because what they realized is, hey, we need 400 years to arrive at Earth. And they want to have a stable planet. It's like... It's understandable to a degree. But then they at least take the idea of... Wait. The humans lie. They're unreliable. We cannot trust them. And the biggest problem they have is that the humans, as they really literally say, how much time did it pass to develop tools from, go from fire to, through the different, from fire to iron, from iron to gunpowder, from gunpowder to the atomic bomb, from the atomic bomb to the computer age, and they're just like, yeah, your technological advancements are so utterly rapidly advancing. They're like, it's in 400 years, you just surpassed us. It would just become a funeral procession. You kill our ships and then fly to our planet and destroy us for good. We don't even need our sons to do that then. So their whole plan is to literally stop science. So anyway, the moment the humans learn that, they are now basically making a planetary defense project on how the fuck do you fight back against someone who disrupts your scientific progress and also knows everything and sees everything all at once.
Practically, yeah.
Practically. That's the thing that they are fighting. It's like super asymmetric, basically a espionage thriller with like aliens, but the aliens are just indirectly there. And so they do a few things, and it's actually kind of cool because basically for one, they're sending a probe into space with the idea of making, a big, because they're like, we need to use the technology they have and then think about how can we disrupt the rest. Like, for example, stuff that the show hinges on that is they are going to build bases on the moon because, you can build spaceships there easier. And also because someone says, hey, what about we just start, up all the particle accelerators always at the same time. That would keep the at least one sophon occupied for a bit. And then someone says, just build it on the fucking moon. I mean,
if you build one on the moon, that's 3 seconds.
That's 3 seconds for it to travel there and back. So, just build some there. And so, sure, we can do that. Let's build stuff on the moon. And, they sent this, basically we want to send a probe, towards the Santi fleet approaching us. And how the fuck are we going to accelerate something really fast? And how would we even stop shit? And then the plan is to, hey, we're sending a human up there because they want to know shit about humans.
Which means we get intel?
We get intel, maybe, and they maybe not. And the thing is, they then send, because they have to make it really light, they don't send a full human up there. They cryo-freeze the brain of a dying cancer patient who also says, he's not going to pledge a loyalty to humanity or something. So he basically is saying, he's even more perfect because he's the fucking wild card. So the Santi or the humans do not know what he's going to do. So this just makes it more likely that they might just catch him. So yeah, they basically build a probe with a solar sail and start detonating nuclear bombs to accelerate the solar sail. It kind of goes bad, though, at the end of the show, so we don't know how that turns out in the end.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you read all 3 books.
Yeah, I'm not telling.
Yeah, so that's the thing, they're doing all that. And then the biggest setup that's probably going to be revealed in the next one, which is not going to be called 3-body problem, by the way. the next season is gonna be called The Dark Forest because that's the next book.
I don't remember the title of the book, but could be.
It's The Dark
Yep.
Forest.
It is, yeah. That title, yeah.
Yeah.
The series, the trilogy has its own separate name, but it's still often called by the name of the first book. Which
Yeah.
it's got the same as what happened with like A Song of Ice and Fire is now made just primarily known as Game of Thrones after the first book.
But yeah, and basically the last thing they're doing is the so-called wall facer program. Because here's the thing, the Sophones can basically read computers, they can hear and see everything we say, but they can't look into people's minds, can they? They can't.
I guess they technically could. Story-wise, it's probably just like the Trisolarians don't know how to read electrical brain signals.
Yeah. So
That's the way I interpret that. Like, they can send signals to our nervous system, so they can manipulate what we like the impulses we get, which is why they can make things look so real. But like they only know as much about they only know things about our biology that we know, and we don't know how our own brains work. We don't know how to read our own brains. So and they have no way of figuring it out themselves. So like I said, they can't actually read the electrical signals in the brain and interpret what they mean.
Yeah, I mean, technically they have small supercomputers. They could study our brains, but that would get in the way of the story.
Yeah, and the thing is, basically, the United Nations, or the Planetary Defense Committee, as it's called. God, I fucking love that. By the way, can I just give a shout out to that Chinese detective? He's amazing. I fucking love him.
Yeah,
he's just
great.
like the most classic, washed out deadbeat dad detective, and he's amazing. He's like,
he's so dry and cynical.
Yeah, I love how he's like, he's working for the PDT, and then like Planetary Defense Committee, PDC. It's just great.
He's almost like he walks straight out of a hard-boiled noir detective.
Oh yeah, he's literally that. He's like it's amazing because like here's the thing. Despite this book being written by a Chinese guy, and I don't know how the books read in comparison, the show is so utterly British, and then it is just like this fucking wreckage of a human being.
Let's say it like that, okay? The characters in the book are less sympathetic because you hear the inner monologue.
Yeah, that probably is a thing.
And I know you have the whole thing, the series makes you depressed.
The book probably would make me more depressed.
Yes, very.
I have no doubt. From what I've read, I absolutely believe that.
The author is very, very negative.
Yeah. Yeah, Clarence will like Clarence also like he always looks like he's just like done with everything. Like his facial expression is permanently like, oh my god, this fucking shit. It's so great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Will basically come up when Saul finally figures out what Dr. Wei, I think she was called. Yi. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name well.
Yeah.
Okay, can I say
because
to be say about the Wallfacer
now,
program? We didn't explain it.
Okay. Just the
Because
scenes.
I think it's just us here, and
Yeah.
this is a very dense series. If you want to explain the entire series, we'll be here for another hour. Like
She doesn't.
If anyone here wants to watch it, just watch it because explaining it just does not do it justice.
Yeah, it's really great.
Extremely dense.
Yeah. My point was the
And
series.
this is a photo.
Yeah, but my point was more like the series does a very good job in. I can't believe I'm saying this. Cinematography.
Oh yeah,
Because
Yeah.
the whole plot point with her is she goes into her daughter's room, sees Fermi paradox and game theory, and then tells him a joke. Very important.
it's actually really important. Yeah, I think the interesting part is just like the characters are like the acting is so good and like they really like the interesting part is, and I think this is always kind of important. I'd say translating something into, for example, like this is always when I think a lot of people overvalue nowadays animation compared to live action, because like the thing is, live action has some strengths you cannot mimic with animation, while animation has like, the problem is just we usually see stuff like people trying to make live action stuff of things that clearly would need animation for what they're doing. But the thing is just there's also some animation stuff where I can just say, just stop, because the thing is, yeah, the free body problem, from what I heard, has a lot of inner monologue stuff to get shit across, Meanwhile, you can actually just understand the people in the show by looking at their face. And that's the goddamn strength of live action. If you have, like, relatively, real places, real humans, and you have good actors, you can convey so fucking much just through acting. And that's the show does so well.
Yeah.
I just like some of the characters. Like, there are some where you think, oh, I would hate them, and then, Jack Rooney just turns out to just be... He's just amazing. Like, it's basically, oh yeah, he was a scientist, and then just basically made a chip, crisp/chips company and got rich. Like, he's a millionaire. And you're like, oh, he has like Star Wars shit in his bedroom, and everyone's a bit like, but like,
He's a man-child.
He's kind of a man-child, but he's just there for his friends. He's just like, nope, I have money and I will spend it for the good. Like, one of his friends basically gets, gets diagnosed with cancer, and he's just like, no, man, I have money. I will pay for whatever it takes to save my best friend. And also, he just, like, literally leaves that money behind for him. Like, he's literally in his will. He just gives a big part of his money to his best friend. He's just great.
You see that kind of character archetype is so often just like an asshole or just immature, but he comes across like that at first, and there's definitely a little bit of that in him. I mean, but he's also just he is fundamentally a good guy. He's loyal. He's having fun, and he's not like he's not arrogant. He doesn't. He's just enjoying himself. Yeah, he's
immature in a very innocent way, like in the sense of he just likes doing shit, and like who cares?
Yeah, I mean, like whomst among us? If we had if you or I had like a couple million, of course we would have all sorts of like nerdy shit in our house.
I would have a fucking basement with a model train rail set. There would be a model. Yeah. There would be a garden railway in my backyard. I'd be unhinged.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff that if you have that kind of money and you're a little bit nerdy, like that's the kind of stuff you want. Like that's the kind of stuff you do. It's very relatable. Yeah, it's like I really liked him, and like the moment he died, I was like, oh fuck. That was one of the evening where I'm like, I just needed to play a little bit longer, because it literally dragged me down. It was like, I saw it coming from a mile and I still hated it. It's like, oh fuck you, I like that. I like that guy. And then like a good other chunk of the series is like, his dying, his friend dying of cancer and his other friend's soul just vibing together, just like, it's so weirdly wholesome, actually. And by the way, that the cancer guy is whose head gets shot into space. And then at the very end, the whole wall phaser program happens, and they're just saying, we nominate 3 people, a Chinese general, a Kurdish war hero, and Saul. Just some guy, basically, who's just like, I don't want this to be wall phasers, aka they get just unquestioned access to everything as long as they don't violate international law. Yeah,
Just because-
one of 3 people like basically in charge of Earth's planetary defense plan.
Because the idea is, as said before, the Santi can't really read the mind of anyone. And they tried to kill Saul, so like yeah. And
Better get that guy.
what?
Better get that guy into the program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know why he's special, but they do. So something like this probably will work out fine.
I mean,
There has to be a reason.
they can't even tell him why he was chosen because they're just like, yeah, someone told us you should be in there, and they're like, why? Like,
And everyone just gives him that knowing look, and he's just like genuinely have no fucking idea.
I absolutely adore the fact that this happens because, like, even the detective changes his expression when he says something, and it's like such a clear indication of like they just have to treat everything he says, even if it's rejecting the welfare program, it's just part of an elaborate plan, and it's kind of hilarious. But like, yeah, it's like, what are you going to do? Who the fuck knows? They don't need to tell anyone. We just have to follow. Maybe it comes together, maybe not. What do we know?
Yeah.
It's also just like kind of an interesting idea because like how do you fight someone who just blocks your signs and all of that? It's just a lot of interesting concepts and how do you fight back with that? And I'm very interested in how the next season is. I mean, I kind of know where it's going because Agonia spoiled that for me before the show was released, but still.
Yeah, you asked.
Yeah, I mean, I asked. I didn't knew there was an amazing show coming. Like, here's the thing. Netflix is producing a bunch of garbage sometimes, but sometimes they also just put out something where you're like, yeah, they sometimes still know how to pick the right people for the job.
Yeah, like I haven't actually read the books, like I said, but I went over the Wikipedia samples before as well. Like I knew about them from Terra Invicta. So that's like I think before the show got announced. So that's when I looked them up and I like read the Wikipedia synopsis for the first time. So that's where I knew like sort of the basic idea. But yeah, I haven't actually read them. But yeah, they're like. I mean, I want to say they're good books, but like they kind of have to be good books because everybody says they're good books. I just can't like it's like second or third hand coming from me. But I mean, the show, I really like the show. It's really good.
I think that the great part about it is just that it's like high concept sci-fi again, and like I think that's just something that's not done a lot of times anymore. So
yeah.
And it's generally the part I'm enjoying about it. Like that it's again it's not just, we have just spaceships and everything. It's like
It's more philosophy.
it's more like how do you deal with that actually? What are you going to do? And that's just really cool, and I'm generally down for seeing more of it.
It's very heady. It's very like philosophical and like psychological as well. Like how do you, like even with with Will, like his whole psychology of how he deals with his stuff and coming to terms with everything. Like it's very much like you get into his character even without the inner monologue. You get so much.
Since no one's watching anyway, and probably no one was gonna watch the VOD here, it actually was especially refreshing since, oh wowzy, we have another Gundam show happening that is under-delivering. Listen,
Sadly.
I do not know where Quarks is going, but like, nothing is happening. It doesn't know what it... You know what the best part about the whole series is so far? A flashback episode that is recutting events from the original show. That is genuinely the best flowing episode with the most information density and just best vibes and pacing. And I mean, they still cut out something crucial at the end, but yeah.
Oh yeah, was it also on your server where people were talking about how like and then the TV broadcast version there was a bit cut from
bit
like
cut
a
at the
flashback
end.
or something, and it is precisely the most important part of that scene.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't explain a lot. It's just it sets shit up, and you're like,
Yeah.
why? And like, still, the thing is, I know you could say I'm biased, and I think a lot of people would say, but like, I will not get people who say the flashback parts are like the worst part of the show, because like, here's the thing: watch the original show, come back, say you're sorry, because sorry. Like, the thing is, it flows really well, and yeah, a lot of times it's just like indulgence. It's just like shot by shot remake of some stuff, and you can be like, I literally point at the screen and scream because, like, oh, it's literally how the shot of the first episode of Gundam is, but there's just the red Zaku of Cha, and you're like, ah! And like, oh, hey, he's in the Gundam, and his fucking theme plays. By the way, can we just talk about the fact that Cha's theme slaps? I do not know if I can play it on stream. Is it
Probably best not to risk it.
probably not, but like, look up Cha's theme. It is catchy, it is spicy, and they put it up when he does cool shit, and you're like, oh wow, it's a great leitmotif. And they even do the thing, because there was one ad break during that episode on Amazon, but you know what? Because it was a TV show, they did the fucking eye catch of the old shows with, like, just shing cha, and you're like, wow, that just added so much character to the show. Guess what is missing from the rest of Quarks entirely?
I might listen to it later, but you said it's catchy and spicy, and I just immediately imagine like mariachi music.
It has trumpets, but yeah, it is so good.
Not directly mariachi, but close.
Yeah, it is so good. I wish actually that you put it up now and just react to it a bit, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, on that, I went shopping for new glasses. Yesterday we picked out a frame, because my current glasses are you've seen me in photos. My current glasses are pretty heavy and kind of masculine, so I wanted to get like a lighter frame, more feminine, and so we picked that out yesterday. And then today we went back for to get my eyes measured, and order the glasses. And they have a deal where you can also get like sunglasses with a big discount if as well. So we got that too, and we were they were showing like different types of glass to put in the sunglasses. And I'm picking green, the same as in my current prescription sunglasses. I just like it. But they also had a brown, like brown glass, and I put it up, and I swear it suddenly clicked. That is the exact thing. Like, the images that they're doing the round of the filters of like movies set in Mexico. That is the exact fucking thing.
It's sunglasses, right?
Yeah, exactly. The brown sunglasses specifically. I put it up, and I shit you not, I immediately heard mariachi music playing in my head. I'm like, oh, now I get it.
I mean, it makes sense. It is very sunny in Mexico.
Yeah. Like, it is literally the exact kind of like brown, orange, amber, kind of color shifting, and it is the exact thing. Like, oh my god, I get it now. I get it.
But yeah, but like,
to Quarks, I still vividly remember when you wrote with Tim. He was like, Quarks is what? Quarks.
You said Quarks, which is
sorry, else. It would be a cooler name. It's the whole show is Machu making faces.
Yeah, she makes great faces,
and I think she had the realization, to be as good as this guy, I need to be willing to kill people. You could have asked him
also
if he wanted.
That was the German translation fucking up to a degree.
Oh, okay, good.
But it's still not really that much better in English. It's just here's a few things. First of all, her faces are great. Second of all, there's just so much stuff in the show that's just like pointless. Like, here's the thing. If you want to make it about the clan battles, why add a background thing? It's the same shit that Witch from Mercury fucked up. Because remember how the premise of Witch from Mercury was duels between the houses of the elite school. They're doing night duels, and then they happen twice.
Yeah.
And are just shelved. And also the
which
thing
one
is,
was it's such a waste. It was such a waste. Like I still think season 1 for the most part was good setup, and then season 2 just completely fumbled the.
this is why I'm not
Like, I
really
think
looking back at it, because like ultimately I know people are like, Prospero's the big scheme, and like they still say that, and it's like, no, she isn't. She did nothing.
Yeah, again, like season 2 could have had so much to work with. They could have done really good stuff.
Yep.
But they just mishandled pretty much everything, and it's such a shame. It's such a really real shame.
Sadly, you could see that coming with the end of season 1.
Yeah.
That they had problems, but I didn't expect them to have that many problems.
Yeah, like it's just. This is probably why I'm also maybe a bit more cynical on Crooks right now, because all I'm seeing is like pointing at possibilities, and I'm like, wowsy, not that we had that thing just like one series before that, where this amounted to absolutely fucking nothing in the end. And then, it doesn't really help when you have an episode where, they open it, like literally open it with, someone in the class of Machu is like, oh, look, I'm gambling on this gambling app and making money with the, and you're like, okay, so why did you bring this up? Is the gambling app important? It's just like about, maybe, clan battles that, Machu is maybe realizing she can fix shit behind the scenes and make more money? Or is this just there to just make a joke about she technically has more money than her gambling classmate? And in the end, it was probably the latter. So why the fuck do you bring up the gambling? Like, she could just brag that her parents would have been rich and beat that. That would have not been a fucking Chekhov's gun that doesn't deliver on anything. And if this becomes kind of important, like in 3 episodes, you know what? That's a bad Chekhov's gun, because you should maybe set up shit and kind of deliver on it in the same episode. That's just kind of good writing.
Chekhov's misfire.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna I need to make a disclaimer here, by the way. I don't really think that Crooks is like, utter garbage. It just gives the an impression of becoming pointless, because it's just 12 episodes and so far they're just not doing things.
Yeah. Don't have much time anymore to do things.
And I cannot understand how people just go onto social media every week and just say, it was peak, it was the best show. And like, are you living in a parallel universe, or what? Did we watch the same show? Yeah, what is going on here?
Yeah. I'll watch it at some point, but yeah, I've tempered my expectations. I still want to watch it because the character designs look cute, and
it's probably gonna be better if it's done. Yeah. Like, we're kind of committed now, but like.
Yeah. I also remember with Metallic Rouge had like amazing episode 1 and also episode 2 from what I remember, and then after that every single episode, every time they had the opportunity to do something, they took the most obvious, least interesting choice every single time, and it just got worse and worse, and like halfway through I was like, okay, I am just done with this series. Like, I no longer have any faith that this series is going to be any good. I'm just going to drop, like, even the animation, like the fight animation, I think just sort of dropped off a cliff after the first few episodes. Like, for first few episodes, really good, and it was just then it just went completely off a cliff, the entire series. Such a shame, such a waste.
It's just like,
it's really good character designs as well.
I mean, it's probably got better to watch in like one go afterwards, but like, especially since we just rewatched like the OG3 series recently. Well, I rewatched them. Agonia saw them for the first time, and so like, I'm sorry. You know what? For 42 episodes or so, their pacing is so much better. Like, original Gundam, like, just establishes so much in the first, like, you watch the first episode and you understand Amuro. You just get the guy. Like, everything is established. Machu right now is more like, what's her deal? She makes faces, but nothing really is that set up. And like, Char's introduced in like, I think episode 2 or 3, and you just understand the guy. Because he's set up well. And then Amuro gets utterly obsessed with Char for the rest of the show.
I should watch the original Gundam sometime, if only to get like the backstory for Birdie Wing.
I mean, you know what I hate? You know what I hate is especially what I see right now? There are a lot of people online who are now posting about, child trauma and murder. That's what Gundam is about. And I just sit there being like, you see who joined with something like Witch from Mercury and didn't bother to actually watch the original trilogy. Because it's a trilogy. You cannot only watch the first show. Zeta and Double Zeta build upon them. And if you finish Double Zeta and go and come back with the impression that Gundam is about that, trauma and killing is the point of the show, you didn't fucking understand the core ideas of Gundam.
I mean, like, you get to like the whole, literally the wow cool robot thing.
It's
just literally
it's
about
not
Gundam.
it's not only that. There's just more. Like it's literally that. But like people also just forget the whole rest. That there was like maybe a whole fucking show about, hey, killing is kind of bad.
Yeah,
it happens.
That's literally what the wow cool robot thing is now.
Yeah, and like it is so funny because, okay, I just say watch it, but like especially if you walk away from Double Zeta and didn't get why the protagonist is the way he is and the show is the way it is, especially in the context of the 3 original shows, you have not fucking understood Gundam. And sorry, I think to a big degree, the whole people murdering without remorse is like, I mean, that's a whole thing set up in the first fucking, like, the thing is, Cha is like, to a degree, a very calculating person, but you know what the interesting part about it is? Cha doesn't kill, because. He just doesn't. He's not really a murder maniac. He's skilled and he kills, but he's not a murder maniac. I mean, he also just, I still love the whole, I never backstabbed anyone in my life. And like, technically correct, you little fucker. But only he knows that. It's like, why are you such a little shit that you just get so hyper specific on when someone calls you out?
Especially since they can't know that.
Yeah, it's only just shit he knows. Like
they know him as Cha.
Yeah.
And he's now undercover. Mm-hmm. As Quadrupagina.
Oh, that's such a great
scene.
Well,
he's actually Casper.
Like, literally, there's a scene in the second season where he basically is under the name Quadrupagina. Again, amazing name. And, like, there's just this whole talk about, let's say, where someone goes, let's say hypothetically, Char Aznable is with us in the room. He's like, yes. And then they just talk about how it should be kind of, his responsibility to just, maybe stand up and use his name and prestige to rally people behind them to fight back the, fascist titans and such. And he's like, that's true. Gladly, I am not Char Aznable. And you're like, well, that's technically true, you little fucker. It's just like, why are you like that? What is your fucking problem? Who hurt you, Char? The zombies, but also.
How was this again? Sitting down with Amuro, like, we technically should get the whole population of the planet, but to do that, we would kind of need a lot of sacrifices.
And Amuro was like, yeah. But blood sacrifices seem to run in your family. Then he just looks at this, in this glass of whiskey they're sharing. So flash forward to the movie Char's Counterattack, where he's just like, I'm gonna drop a giant meteor on Earth to freeze it over, and there's just a scene where he looks at this glass of whiskey and you're like, God damn it, Char, you literally took it literally what Amuro told you, didn't you? Why are you like this? And that's also why I hate when people, try to compare people like Prospero to Char. It's like, sorry, there's just one Char. And the moment you watch Gundam, you're like, yeah, no one is like Char. He's just weird. He's just like, what the fuck is your problem? He's literally a person that every single time he shows up, you're just like, what the fuck is your problem? Why are you like this? It's just amazing. I fucking love him. And they were never ever able to copy him. They copy his style, but they cannot copy him. They just utterly can't. It's impossible. Like, I can almost guarantee you the reason he's not currently in Crooks is because they probably tried to write him in and realized, oh fuck no. We can't do that. It's not gonna work out. But yeah, those are just a few things where I'm like, yeah. And then also, can I just rant about a few minor things that kind of annoy me about Crooks right now? Is that all right? Just a few minor things. First of all, fuck you. That's not a Galgok.
Fair.
They literally have this whole thing going in the recent episode that there is that they say, one of the enemies are using Galgoks. The Galgok is a suit that Xeon built.
I mean, it's an alternative timeline, so I get
I get it. I get why they did it, because, like, in the alternate timeline, basically, Charles stole the Gundam. So Xeon then started copying technology out of the Gundam. There's still Zaku's in the universe, but, I'm just putting it up on stream, this thing is suddenly a Galgok. This is a fucking Federation suit. This is not a Galgok. This is a fucking Galgok. Real Xeon suits have curves. And one eye. Like, I am sorry, but this isn't a Galgok. I know why they did it, and I still hate it. Okay? I just fucking hate it. It's like...
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go to sleep?
We should slowly go to sleep. I just wrapped this rant up really quickly. Like,
Okay.
I hate this. And also, the other thing I kind of hate is just the fact that, come on. You're making an alternate reality thing, and the only character, even if you have to do like a weekly basis, the only characters from the original show that are currently running around in some form are Charia Bull and Cameron? Like, Charia Bull is, like, introduced at the very end of the original Gundam show, and then he's just there for a few episodes. And then the series ends, by the way. And, like, not that he's a bad character, but he does nothing in Quarks. And then you have Cameron, the ex-fiancé of Mirai, who got also cucked by her. Because, like, in the original show, she leaves him for someone else, and he's just like, yeah, I guess that's a thing. And in this timeline, she also left him. Guy will never marry her. It just doesn't work out. He's a good guy, like, no question, but she's just like, I just don't love you. Sorry.
Fair.
And yeah, it's just fair. He himself is just like, yeah, that's fair. Like, he's one of those characters I think that returns in Zeta and Double Zeta, and everyone's like, he's just a mainstay, but it's still funny to see that he, it still happened in any other timeline. But, like, you bring back an ace pilot from the 1 Year War, and it's an OC character. Wow, you could not have, done something like, hey, this is alternate timeline Karen from 8th the Mess Team. I guess couldn't have done that. Just, it's not like there are like a lot of OVAs or other pilots from the 1 Year War in like official material that they could have maybe put into this series. Just be like, hey, this has happened to them, which again, Karen would I don't think there's a fucking license on her. and she's already a great pilot in 8th MS team. Like, she's the fucking team leader. You could have just literally made her so that she's just, more battle hardened, and just killed more. But also, you could also then just do the thing and just show that she's maybe together with a woman and, repent for the fact that the 8th MS team is a little bit too heterosexual in that part. Sorry, Karen? Okay.
Yeah. You wanted to end the rant.
Yeah. She's muscular, she's hot. No way this woman is heterosexual, okay? I'm sorry. But you know what? Cool. I just said that being like, massive missed opportunity. Anyway, that's like, just, I don't know how Crooks will end. It's not a bad show right now, but like, god damn it, I just wish for a Gundam show again that just, has the juice, and just so many just don't have the juice right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
one thing that I also kind of, like, it's not any one thing in particular, but I've grown over time to just sort of get, it hasn't even cropped up that much, come think of it, but I've still gotten really tired of dueling as like an important plot element in fiction. It's
rarely.
It's like
I know it's rarely, but like it was like there were a few other things I in the past where like also dueling play like a major role. A couple of things where also it felt it didn't just was sort of felt shoehorned in.
It's just
it feels like it kind of I don't know. It can be good, but as a major thing, something about it just feels off to me. Like it's a bit like an too easy of a way to like get conflict without like hard consequences, and it's something I can't quite put into words, but I've become kind of leery leery of it. It's
Here are a few things I kind of want to point out. Like, I have to say, they just did the whole dueling setup twice and sold it as a main feature, and it's just background noise in two shows like right now.
Which is, like, I would say, textbook bad execution.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you want to if you wanted to make a show about dueling, especially with the clan battles and the scrapyard people, here's the thing: how I would have set it up. Machu is a pilot, and I don't know the other girl again. I don't know her. What was her name again? Nyan. She should have been an engineer, like someone who fucking works on shit. And it should be, and the Gundam shouldn't be something, they just steal. Like, stealing the Gundam is kind of a running joke in a few shows, but it doesn't make sense here a lot, other than this is how they get the Gundam. And the thing is, it should have been more often, they find an old Gundam on the scrapyard. Like, maybe even one that we could recognize as something important, and they don't. And the crooks would have been something they themselves built. They go to the clan battles with something, they built, they're working on. And the thing would be about, trying to win the battles, improve, the Gundam on their budget and having setbacks and trying to go about finances. Like, actually be about the logistics of running illegal duels and building your machine, because that's a thing.
Yeah.
The Gundam being a big, like an overpowered war machine made sense in the original run because it was about the horrors of war and, especially child soldiers being forced into that and a lot of the futility of that. Crooks is a bit slice of life about basically just it's fucking super robot wars with mechs. And for some reason, it's not about we build a thing and then just kind of have to hope we win against the weird custom shit, which is wild because here's the thing. This would have been the setup of basically just a serious version of Mobile Suit Gundam Build Divers. a good show, by the way, that has Rambalral.
We like Rambalral.
We're in an alternate timeline where Rambalral probably lives. Where is my grandpa? That's not a grandpa, but he's a grandpa and he's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, that's the thing. If you want to make it about that, focus on that. Build the Gundam around the concept
Right now,
that fits it.
Quarks is technically a power fantasy. Like, we have 2 new types with top-of-the-art machines.
Yeah.
Like,
Why?
even if I ignore the plot armor, they will not lose.
Yeah.
Unless Machu fucks up royally.
And by the way, this is why I like Iron-Blooded Orphans, because here's the thing. Barbatos is a monster of a machine. All the 72 Gundams are that, because they're custom-built monsters to fight, like, literal monsters. But Barbatos isn't invincible. Quite the fucking opposite. The one of the few reasons why Barbatos is actually so effective is just literally because they're using the Alavishanya system, how it's pronounced. And Mikazuki is like unbothered by shit. That's his edge. He's unbothered. He just fights. And even then they keep upgrading the thing because they have to. Because they're literally in an arms race with
They also use
other
the whole
factions.
duels better. Like, the duels are short most of the time, unless they're bigger battles. There it's about something else. But the duels is mostly about, here is my ideology and reason to fight you. Mikazuki is, I don't care. And then he beats them.
Yeah. And even then, they just do one actual duel in the beginning, and it's literally to underline the character of a person who,
Yeah.
you know, they have
That's
a
a
point
good
there.
execution of a duel. It has a point.
You know what the weirdest part about this is? We're currently talking about like absolute storytelling basics, and I'm still fascinated how a show with such rich history like Gundam just keeps failing at some of that.
They should watch the first episode, the first season of Beyblade. They would learn something.
Actually, yeah, Beyblade is amazing.
The first season, yes.
Sorry, it's like... No, actually, you know what? Fuck it. The setup of the whole battles thing is basically Beyblade. And they should have built it around that. I'm sorry. Anyway, that was my rant over. Would have been great if there was like a whole... If they said like, we reforged like one colony to be like the ultimate battleground for the Clan Battle Mobile Suit Championship, and it just keeps changing.
Also, can someone tell me why it's called clan battles?
Because they make fictional clans to fight each other like in video games.
Why would they call it that?
I don't know. I just really don't know.
Because video games, probably.
Just probably because of that. It's.
Yeah.
I will probably write about it at the end of that, but like right now I have another old sci-fi show I want to watch, and
Also,
we will probably talk about that later. Oh, what?
Put that one here in the group.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That would be useful, right?
That is very useful. Yeah, thank you.
Because I think Lena also wanted to have that information.
Yes, about the experience points. So yeah, thanks everyone who stayed with us until like this long end and through the rant. Again, if you try to fucking say now I hate crooks, that's not the case. I'm probably just a bit disappointed. I expected more actually, and right now it's just meh.
They could turn it around.
They could, here's the thing, they could definitely turn it around, but right now I am not impressed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It kind of sounded like with I still don't think I want to call Witch from Mercury bad. Like, it could have definitely been handled a lot better, but there was still like good stuff in there. Metallic Rouge is something that I will outright call bad, because it just went completely to shit. Witch from Mercury was also just disappointing. I mean, I've seen much worse shows.
Yeah, like there's the thing. There are truly bad shows where you just sit there being like, "Holy shit! Why are you doing this?" Tower of God.
I should watch more of that show.
keep that meme going on this channel, I suppose. But like, the thing is, it's like, yeah, I think the first season is competent, but like, God, is the second season just utter nothing?
Yeah.
The relationship carries basically the whole show.
Yeah. And even then, I hate the fact that people are like, it's the first monogamistic relationship they just announced in the beginning, and like, can we just agree to the fact that this is like a little bit forced? It's a trope, but like, come on. They just kind of accept it at some point, and they still have some good moments, but like, the build up is not that good. Like, Soletta and Miorine is just like, it's nice that they have a lesbian couple as the main ones, but they are not that well written.
They're a good couple,
Obviously, yeah.
but they technically don't have much reason to be together.
It's like, the main thing is, Miorine has like trust problems, and then she just relies on Soletta, and it's like, yeah, but also Soletta has done the bare minimum to actually gain that trust.
To be fair, with the kind of life Miorine has led, that probably would be enough with everyone
Maybe,
around her.
yeah. It's just
the kind of
it's
people
just-
they are.
They could have
I
done
agree with
more,
you. Yeah.
or shown
agree
more
with you, yeah.
insight, and like,
Yeah.
I am still amazed that Strike Witches still fucking beats out the most shows nowadays in terms of lesbian relationships.
Yep.
And that's an edgy show from 2008, and it's still better written.
Yeah. And there's a lot of focus on that relationship. Like, in comparison to Iron-Blooded Orphans, there is a polygamistic relationship
Yeah.
going. But it's not in the forefront. Also, Mikazuki is kind of too...
He's just kind of like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't dislike this. This is fine. But like, I mean, he's the most autistic Gundam protagonist there is.
Very stereotypically, yes.
Yeah.
But he's highly competent. He's a really cool character. I have to say that.
Yeah,
Like,
fair,
for
fair.
me, it's the top one Gundam pilot.
But for me, it's still Judo Ashita, sorry.
I get you. I get you.
He's my Globo, and I will fight for him. Also, Camille. Okay, Camille's also up there. But
They're all
Camille's
great.
just a little shit.
They're all great. They're all great. But Mikazuki is really well written.
Yeah.
For a character with so little lines, because he just doesn't bother to talk most of the time.
You know what? That's the thing with good direction and visual
Yes.
storytelling.
He's
Yeah.
great.
And I mean, Camille is up there because, like, let's just be real, like, Camille is trans. Like, oh boy, you have a whole scene about saying Camille hates the name Camille because it's so feminine. But like, no, I like it. The name, I kind of started accepting it. The moment I opened myself up a bit, like, oh boy, there's a lot going on here.
See, Camille is your Globo, yeah, because Camille is basically trans. But
He is,
Mikazuki
yeah.
is my murderous child soldier, okay?
That's fine for you. We all have our favorite murderous child soldier.
In media.
Perfectly normal things to say.
The average Gundam fan. Yeah. Oh god. Zeta Gundam is amazing. Like, there's so much gender going on in that show. It's like, yeah. Wow.
But that's mostly because the director was like, fuck you, CEOs, I don't get a female protag.
Here's the
Let's see
thing.
how I can get around that.
Like, here's the thing. He wanted to do a female Tomino wanted to do a female product for like a long time, and it wouldn't fucking surprise me if, they were like, no, you don't make a girl as the second protagonist, so you just made Camille, which is like, Camille and Fa Yuri are just like, they're, you can see the disaster lesbian relationship in them. They're just like, those people are not cis and not heterosexual, is what I'm saying. Okay, maybe Fa Yuri is cis, but she's definitely not heterosexual. Anyway, and yeah. And then, later the very famous one of, I really want to make a female protagonist now with turn A, and they're like, no, you don't. And he's like, fine. The protagonist will cross-dress constantly then. And then he did that. So it's just okay. Anyway, Gundam talk over. I hope you all had fun. It's way too late. Have a good night. Have a good weekend ahead of you, everyone. See you all on Sunday, when we will hopefully storm Dracula's castle in Order of Ecclesia. And hopefully finish that game for good.
Good luck.
Yeah, God, I hate the current boss. It's such a shit show. Anyway, good night and goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.